seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat here each and every afternoon. Everybody have a great weekend. Trust that you did. Yeah.
It was a good weekend.
Everybody, all right.
I actually spent the weekend, we were with Jake and Chief Zach and Clarissa and that lovely new house of theirs.
Good time was had by all?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I've come to realize that Chief Zach has no less than 500 instruments to grill animal on. And they all taste just phenomenal.
Let's talk about that corn yesterday. Holy moly.
That's the first time I ever ate tuna salad. I'd never had tuna salad before in my life. It was pretty formidable. I was always freaked out by canned fish. There's just there are just certain words that don't make a ton of sense to me.
Canned fish is one of them.
One. Yeah. It never really did it for me. But we have officially come to the realization that this Friday will be the first peanut butter and jelly sandwich I've ever had in my life.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to miss it.
That was not intentional, I must admit. We didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Now, sorry, Tank will be at the beach, so he misses peanut butter and jelly day.
Never for the beach. Take that any day, man.
It's the world's smallest violin playing My Heart Bleeds for You.
Oh, no doubt. Can't wait to go down to the beach. We'll be there, let's see, about 8 hours away. 8 hours from the beach. Getting real excited about it. Jake and the Fat Man are going to be able to take you through the week.
Jake and the Fat Man.
Yeah, Jake and the Fat Man.
How did I not think of that?
I don't know how you didn't think about that.
Yeah, we will be superimposing mine and Jake's faces on the cover of that 80s classic, and that will be your ESPN cover for the next
Well, Jake and the
days.
Fat Man for the next 4 days here in the Sportsocracy. Today we're going to do some fantasy footballs.
Yeah, you know why? Because we looked around the sports landscape and went, we could talk about John Collins getting traded to the Jazz.
No, thank you.
Well, the Hawks didn't care, so why should we? They gave up Rudy Gay and a 2046 second-round draft
We
pick.
talk about Naz Reid getting a 3-year, $40 million contract.
Although that probably does mean that Karl Anthony Towns is getting ready to get moved.
Which
How
is
many
fine.
centers are too many centers if you're the Minnesota Timber Puppies? And we're at 4. And you don't have anybody that can score.
Right.
So sweet.
We could talk about baseball. It was a crazy weekend in Major League Baseball and the College World Series. You had 2 historic games, back-to-back days. We had the Angels just beat the holy snot out of the Colorado Rockies. Here's an interesting stat. So did you see the final score? So the Angels beat the Rockies the other night 25-1.
Yes.
They ended up losing the weekend series despite outscoring the Colorado Rockies like 37-12. They lost
That's
2 of the 3 games.
Whoa.
And one of them they won 25-1. And then you had yesterday the Florida Gators putting up the most runs in a men's College World Series final game.
Wait, what did you just say?
The Florida Gators.
Hadn't done that in a while. I believe that's going to be in your Green on Green segment today.
The Gators putting up, what was it, 24?
Yes.
Against LSU yesterday. 24-4 was the final score. Just a historic day for College World Series, and nobody cares.
Nope. Which means it's now time for fantasy football.
That's right. That's right. So how is your have you set your mind on how this fantasy football season is going to shape up yet? Have you been hopefully you've been making all of your decisions on your rookie drafts and all of that if you're in dynasty leagues? I feel like dynasty leagues are now the norm. Have they reached the norm?
I would say so. I mean, I get a lot of questions about dynasty football. If you're in need of help for your fantasy football league, Mullet Man of the Canadan Ultimate Fantasy Draft Kit out 3 weeks from today.
Awesome.
Let's go. That's 2 countries worth of fantasy football knowledge. Comes in English, which is what David speaks, and whatever this language is that comes out of my mouth, which is shenanigans.
Whether you like to play Dynasty or Redraft, we'll have all of the rankings for you in the Mullet Man and the Canadan. What are you calling it?
The Ultimate Fantasy Draft Kit.
Ultimate Fantasy Draft Guide.
Yeah, we may change the name. If I can come up with an acronym that turns into a dirty word, I'm going to certainly do that. So if you can come up with something that will make me laugh, there's a great chance that I will give it to you for free, and I will use your name.
It looks like I got a brainstorm done.
Bingo. I love acronyms that turn into bad words.
So as you're building your team, or as you're thinking about building your team for this year, what should be the first thing on your mind?
Well, as I've gone down the rabbit hole, I have realized that there are just not many running backs that I feel good about. I mean, that's if you heard over the weekend, who was it, Melvin Gordon? There was a veteran running back that said this Melvin is the worst position to play.
Yep.
He's not wrong. And now, if there's a guy that you feel even vaguely good about, tomorrow on the program, Jake and I will be discussing running backs in the NFL. You see what we did there? Start talking about fantasy football, most important position, fantasy football is running back. Boom! Power Rankings Tuesday. It gets thin in a hurry. I mean thin in a hurry. If you had to tell me there was a running back in the NFL that you felt good about going into 2023, who is it?
I would say Christian McCaffrey would be my one.
Yeah, a guy that's been hurt like 11 years in a row, and now he's older, and now he's in a system where seemingly every running back gets hurt every single year.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go Bijan Robinson.
He's your one?
One with a bullet.
Not just in Dynasty and redraft as well.
He's my number one player in fantasy football, period.
Brr.
He's my number one. All right, so ask yourself this question. You have a running back that we already believe in the talent.
Yes.
We think he's a generational talent. Running backs historically start quicker than running backs or than wide receivers and tight ends. Why would I not? Probably got the highest opportunity cost of any running back in the league because he's going to get the ball. He's going to play wide receiver. This is basically Austin Eckler that you don't have to take one because I don't see him go that high ever.
No. It's Christian McCaffrey, Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler.
I saw the intern Jake, where you can find him on Twitter. I saw him light up like a Christmas tree, and I felt like it was because he wanted to say Jonathan Taylor's name, not names.
I also wanted to talk about Nick Chubb.
All right,
is he top 5 for you?
He's not just top 5 for me.
He's number 2.
He's number 2.
That's what I love to hear, Jeremy.
But he's not going that.
No,
I haven't been in a draft yet, and I've been in a lot of them already. I haven't been in a draft yet where you can't get Nick Chubb, who could possibly be the number 2 running back in fantasy football. You can get him at the end of the first round, possibly the beginning of the second round.
And that's been my strategy as I've been going through the rabbit hole with the draft kit. The highest that I'm really – people get freaked out by taking a rookie that high. My objective is to get somewhere past the middle of the first round, get Bijan in that 7, 8, 9 range, and hope to God that I can get to Nick Chubb.
I have not seen him last that long. Bijan goes in the top 5 of every draft I've been in so far. And this is Sleeper. I do all my drafts on Sleeper, mock drafts, and all that.
I feel like Sleeper almost you have to diversify your portfolio. Here's why I say that. Because the rankings on every different site are different. So, so unless you play all of your leagues on that one site, you're going to get to Yahoo. And I'll tell you right now, I haven't seen, and I have trends, and I don't do drafts before the 4th of July. I cannot draft a fantasy football team before I have celebrated my nation's independence by blowing up a small part of it. That's just my rule.
Fair enough.
And I don't care if it's Dynasty. I don't care what it is. I'm not drafting before that. But the trends state that Nick Chubb's going somewhere right there in that turn. Now, there are guys that I'm avoiding like grim death. I am terrified of Austin Eckler because now the receiving work, which is a lot of his merit. How many receivers can one team withstand? You took Quentin Johnson in the first round. You already had Mike Williams. You still believe in Josh Palmer. Keenan Allen is like 3 years younger than me, but he's still in the league. So
right.
He's still talented. So I'm seeing Eckler go in the top 4. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. I like Saquon Barkley better. Frankly,
Josh Jacobs,
Breece Hall. I need him to stay away from Dalvin Cook. Dalvin, buddy. All right. We get that you're interested in the Jets. You're interested in the Dolphins. It's weird how that developed. You remember when he got cut, and I said, well, don't be shocked if the Jets become a player in that. And here we are. Now, if you come with DeAndre Hopkins, then Okay, we could do worse. I'm not going to be angry. Probably not going to buy your jersey, but I'm not going to be angry.
Why is it, do you think, that Derrick Henry is not in any conversation?
Because he's 1,000? Because
the age.
Here's
it's
the thing.
Usage.
Because I'm at the point with Derrick Henry where I want to be a year too early as opposed to a year too late. And Tank can attest to this. I've been telling you this is coming for years. I have benchmarks with running backs. He hit them 2 years ago for where the fall off is going to happen. And weird, as soon as he hit it, injury problems started happening. Now, it hasn't affected the bottom line that much, but he's been somewhat inconsistent game to game. And right now, all right, so ask yourself this question. For the 2023 season, would you rather have Tony Pollard or Derrick Henry?
Tony Pollard.
I agree, and I don't think it's all that close.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I brought that up is because Tennessee literally has no wide receivers.
And that's the other point.
Traylon Burks.
At this point, I could play Lou Holtz football. We put 11 guys in the box because the only guy we're worried about shopping is Derrick Henry. He's the only player this could actually score touchdowns for you.
But they played that game last year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and he was fine last year, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he had 13 touchdowns last year.
Yeah.
Over 1,500 yards on 349 carries.
Well, here's the thing. The thing about running backs is that invariably you're going to hit that year where a running back just has a tire blowout, and all of a sudden they look like me.
What year is it usually? 27,
28.
right?
28's that's almost like you've made it this far. It's almost like, you remember what in Seinfeld where Kramer goes on the test drive and he's just committed to I'm not going to stop for gas and they stay on E forever? Well, I feel like that's where Derrick Henry's at right now. You're going to run out of gas.
Yeah, he's just trying to make it.
I don't know how long the fumes in that tank are going to keep you going, but and there's nothing behind him. I just look at the rest of the team and go,
I mean, Tajay Spears.
Oh, joy. You mean the guy who doesn't have an ACL? That's awesome.
Hassan Haskins.
I always knew that you could blow an ACL and not replace it. I didn't know that you could do that and then play in the NFL. That was information. And look, I like Tajay Spears, but I just come to the point with Tennessee, there's no way that they're not going to overload his apple cart before they get eliminated from contention.
Yep.
And it makes me think, what are you going to be towards the end of the year? Now, in our YouTube chat, Jonathan Welch has a very good point, but we have to take a break, and it leads me into one of the things that it blows my mind how often people do this wrong. Of when is it exactly that you need these guys to be good? We'll talk about it next.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
You might not know this, but the Ingles Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things, really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
In a new series from the teams at Novel and iHeartRadio, this is the Fighty Pucks. We're going out on the ice with the most violent hockey team ever.
That was guerrilla warfare at its highest.
Were they heroes or villains? You decide.
You and I are going to have a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Welcome to the jungle.
Listen to the Fighty Pucks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
He'll forget about the video game you gave him on his birthday.
Wow! Thanks, Grandpa!
but he'll never forget how you invested in his future with the UNest app.
Wow. Thanks, Grandpa.
Don't just give them any gift. Give them a gift that can grow with them. Invite grandparents and family friends to contribute to your child's future with the UNest app. UNest is an investment account for kids that makes it easy to gift funds that can be used for college tuition, their first home, and more, just by sharing the link. Or include a UNest QR code on party invitations for birthdays and holidays. For a limited time, download the UNest app and use the code IHEART50 at sign-up to receive a $50 bonus when you fund your account. That's code IHEART50 when you sign up at unest.co for a $50 bonus. See terms and conditions at unest.co.
To my newborn baby boy, the day you arrived was one of the happiest days of my life. Right up there with the day I bought my RV from that guy on the internet and insured it with Progressive. What a deal. Just know, son, I'll always be here for you. And by here, I mean in the middle of absolutely nowhere. In my RV.
Protect your baby with an RV policy from Progressive. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. It is June 26th, and we have officially run out of things to be interesting.
Well, it's not that we've run out of things. It's just things that are interesting to us.
Yes, exactly. It is time to switch to fantasy football mode because saw this morning one of my favorite follows on Twitter. It's our good friend Russell Baxter, who's been on this program a couple of times back in the Saturday days. He covers the NFL, and he does. Are
you going to call some of our old friends? We haven't had a lot of our old friends on this show in a while.
I mean, look,
like
between you and me, it's hard for anybody else to get a word in edgewise.
Which is why we brought in Jake, so he could look at us and go, "Hey, shut up.
Let me talk." And he'll get plenty of mic time here over the next few days, as today is my final day of the week. First day and final day.
Tank's going to go lay on the beach.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to your jersey, how red will you be by this time tomorrow?
Probably not. I usually take it easy on the first day just so I don't have – because I've done that before where you go down to the beach and you just go, yeah, we're at the beach. And then you spend the next 4 days sitting on the couch in the condo going, I can't move.
That's what they make beer for. I don't care how burnt I get. Just all that does is determine exactly how many brewskis I got to have the rest of the trip.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping that I won't be too red.
Jake got to see firsthand yesterday that the consumption level of this guy is it's a sight to behold.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's like, wait a minute, I just heard. Wait, did you just crack one of those? Yeah, it was like 8 minutes ago. It's time for number 2.
Down in North Myrtle Beach. Can't wait to go hang out down there for a few days. Going to go hang out with the Vicks. They're down there as well. So we'll be hanging out, having some brews on the beach, maybe some photos on the Sportsocracy page of Tank and his vacation with the Vicks.
Was just make sure shirted.
100%. There will be no pictures with Tank without his shirt on.
No Borat suit either. I don't need to see that. Wow.
They don't make them that big. I had to borrow one from King Kong Bundy's closet.
Nope. Can't do it. Wanted to make a joke. Can't do it on FCC radio.
But as I was getting ready to say, Russell Baxter follows the daily countdown on his Twitter every day. We are 37 days away from the Hall of Fame game in Canton.
Which is between... What, two?
Was it the Raiders and the Jets?
That's the Cleveland Browns.
The Browns.
And the New York Football Jets.
37 days away from the start of the preseason of the NFL. So that means over the coming weeks, you're going to be having all of your fantasy football drafts. So we're starting the fantasy football content here in the Sportsocracy today. We were talking about running backs and top 5 running backs for the upcoming year. Look, to me, Christian McCaffrey is the one. I get that he's had injury issues, but on that San Francisco team,
he just scares me. I mean, every single year. The guy that's going 1, I'm virtually never interested in.
But how many running backs don't have questions. That's what
For me, there's a couple that you can get right around the turn. Because there's one I'm going to have in every league, and I'm going to dare you to stop me.
Nick
Chubb's is one of the ones I like.
Mm-hmm.
I like Breece Hall. I love Bijan Robinson. I like Jonathan Taylor.
I know who you like.
Najee Harris.
Yeah.
I'll have him in every league I'm in. Because I'll go ahead and tell you, we can play that the old name that tune game of I'll take him at number 16. I'll take him at number 8, and I'll laugh in your face as I do it. I mean, if you think you're playing with me, I'm not scared.
We all know Bijan is the number one. In your rookie drafts, he is the number one for Jeremy, apparently, in redraft leagues. He's not that high for me. I think I'd have him at 3. But if I've got 1 or 2, I'm thinking about it deeply.
Wait, say that
taking Bijan Robinson.
I would
in the top 3.
If I have a pick in the top 5, I'm taking Bijan Robinson. But then I get into I know people are going to take Travis Kelce really high. I know at least the 2 receivers are going in the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
So it's becoming more trendy to do that. It's always made me laugh that the league changes a little bit. Because we've been pass happy for many years.
Yeah.
And yet now Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson and all these guys are first-round picks. There's no shot I do that in any league I'm in.
Taking
Unless you just go nanners and draft 10 running backs in the first 10 picks. Because the difference between what I get at 1 and 2 and what I get at 12 is not that drastic. I mean, yes, I would rather have Jamar Chase than Jalen Waddle. Is Jalen Waddle going to have weeks where he's better than Jamar Chase? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me look down the list here. Is Ramondre Stevenson going to have many weeks where he's better than Bijan Robinson? I'm going to say no.
No.
So for me, I'm walking out the first 2 rounds with 2 running backs.
Yes.
But Jonathan Welch had a great point in our YouTube comments about Kenny Walker III, that he should be in this discussion, and he's not. Right now, he's going. There are places that you can get him in the 3rd round, and I'll do it 100 times out of 100.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm looking at how many of these guys are going to die on the vine in the middle of the year. That's what scares me about Christian McCaffrey. That's what scares me about a couple of these other guys that are on, like Derrick Henry. He's on an awful team. So in the last 6 weeks of the season, when I need him to be good because I'm headed for the playoffs or I'm in the playoffs,
mm-hmm.
There's a great possibility he's going to be sitting on the sideline in a sweatshirt. I'm good. I don't want anything to do with that. Saquon Barkley, I'm not 100% sure where he's at. If the Giants fall out of contention and he's still playing on a 1-year deal, I wouldn't be shocked if he went, my knee. Josh Jacobs. It's another guy I'll have nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I won't have him anywhere. But then I get down the list and I'm looking at the Breece Halls, Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, Kenny Walker. Those are guys I'm going to have a lot of shares of each.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a guy for either of the 2 of you that we haven't mentioned yet that you feel real warm and fuzzy about?
Real warm and fuzzy?
Mm-hmm. There's a name that you should be saying because you mention him every time we talk about this.
Miles Sanders.
There it is.
Miles Sanders with the Carolina Panthers. Did you see what Deontay Foreman did last year? He was like number 2, number 3 running back in fantasy football for the last 2 months of the season with the Carolina Panthers. He was high up there. Like, it shocked you week to week to go, damn, Deontay Foreman did that? Miles Sanders is just, to me, head, shoulders, knees, and toes above Deontay Foreman.
Well, I mean, and for me, and I agree with that in terms of talent. I don't know how, and Jake can attest to this, how many times did Frank Reich do things in Indianapolis that by limiting Jonathan Taylor in terms of number of touches, especially early on, where you went, what are you doing?
Yeah.
How many touches do we have to give Nyheim Hines? And I'm afraid that's going to happen with Carolina. Because there are places that I'm seeing, all right, we're going to play a fun game. I'm going to say 2 names. You 2 tell me which one you'd rather have.
Okay.
They all start with Miles Sanders.
Okay.
Miles Sanders or Aaron Jones?
Aaron Jones.
Miles Sanders.
You're drunk. I thought that one was easy. So I don't necessarily feel like this game is going to go the way I want it to because I thought that was the easiest one. Miles Sanders or Joe Mixon?
Sanders.
I don't know what's going on with the Mixon situation.
He's going to be there. If he's on that roster, he's going to be the running back because I got news for you. They don't have anybody else.
I would probably take Mixon.
For me, it's Mixon. It's not even close. Jahmyr Gibbs or Miles Sanders? We've hit the fulcrum.
That one's
that's Sanders to me.
Maybe I'm just saying this because I'm a little biased towards Jahmyr Gibbs because I really want him in the draft, but I'm gonna take Gibbs.
See, for me, my answer on every one of those was the not Miles Sanders, which means I'm going to have a lot of them and I'm going to have nothing of Miles Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like Miles Sanders has gotten to the point where we're doing something that we do all the time of they gave him money. They gave him money because Frank Reich was, in terms of schematically, the system he ran in Philadelphia was vaguely similar to what Frank Reich's going to run.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one of those guys out there. That doesn't mean he's going to all of a sudden get 22 carries a week. Joe Mixon's going to get 22 carries. Right now, Miles Sanders is going in front of him in virtually every format you can find.
Really?
And to me, that is stupid.
That's insanity.
Well,
I didn't know that.
It's because people are scared about Joe Mixon.
Well, I get it.
And you shouldn't be. That was the thing before the draft. If they were going to do that, it was going to be because they could get Jahmyr Gibbs or they could get one of these other young running backs. They don't have one now. Chris Evans ain't doing it for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a really good not Superman. What was he? Captain America. Speaking of which, Jeremy saw a movie later on in this here program.
Nice.
It was good, dude. I don't ever say nice things about movies, but this one was good and had Captain America in it.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea. I've yet to be in a draft where I've seen Miles Sanders go ahead of Joe Mixon. And here's the thing. The reason that I answered the way that I answered on all of those is because of the value of where you can get him. Because I've had him in pretty much every mock draft I've done on Sleeper because I can get him in the 4th or 5th round. And Joe Mixon's going in the 2nd round. I'll gladly wait, load up on whatever I need to.
And Joe Mixon was the reason that I wanted to do this because so I'm looking at the ADP on every site. You go anywhere but Sleeper,
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon's falling in the 3rd round.
Okay.
So I don't really care what site you play on. Just understand that you look across the other versions of the industry, it'll tell you closer where people are at.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, Miles Sanders is going ahead of Joe Mixon. It's a consensus ranking is happening everywhere. In our YouTube chat, Evan Doyle said, don't sleep on Chase Brown. I'm not trying to sleep on him. He's a rookie running back that had issues in pass pro. If I had $1 for how many times I've seen a rookie that I like the talent, and it takes till halfway through the season before they mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
See, Joe Mixon's the one I want to take early, appease everybody's fears on him, and then trade them for Miles Sanders and something else.
Gotcha.
I took him behind you. Miles Sanders maybe let you down. Joe Mixon was impressive, and they're going to pass each other in the night because there's not really anybody that can take that many touches away from Miles Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
They stay in contention. He's going to get a lot of workload. For me, that's my strategy in practically every fantasy football league I ever go into.
Who's the most overrated, most overdrafted running back to you right now in fantasy football?
Josh Jacobs, not close.
Really?
Led the league in rushing last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that team's not good. That team's not good. It's one of the 4 worst teams in the AFC. You're going to be behind a lot. And, yes, he's going to get workload, but how long do you think that guy holds up to that workload?
Mm-hmm.
They invested – I'm not saying it was great draft capital, but they invested draft capital in Zamir White. And so I'm looking at him now going to the top 7. In the 2nd round, you could do worse.
Yeah.
But the thought that you would take him over Tony Pollard, the thought you would take him over Breece Hall, I don't really see that.
No.
But he was not. Yeah, I know. He led the league in rushing last year. I got it. That's the number one reason that I'm not wild about him this year.
Selfish reasons here. I keep seeing this name go way higher in drafts than he should, and it's Rachaad White of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, your team,
I'm seeing him go in the 3rd round of drafts and going, why are you doing that?
Is his family drafting with you?
That's
the only reason he should go.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like it seems like there is just this, this is the breakout year for Rachaad White.
His consensus right now is 67.
Really?
Yeah. If there's and we'll tie this into a nice little package. If there's a mid-round running back that you're just you want to stake your flag that this guy is going to win fantasy football leagues, who is it?
Dameon Pierce.
That's not a bad one. People are losing their minds of but that team's not good. Yeah, they weren't good last year either. And workload and yeah, Dameon Pierce is still a dog. But they signed Devin Singletary. I don't care.
I really don't care.
I don't care. He's a mediocre backup running back. He will basically have the same role that Rex Burkhead had last year. Was that going to be yours too?
No, mine's Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams is also a formidable selection.
Because a lot of people are thrown off by the injury last year. But do you remember the flashes of this dude in his rookie year?
Oh, no doubt.
Like, have we forgotten? I get that anybody can have an injury early in the season and miss time, but
the fear with him is, does he miss time to start the year?
And honestly,
I'm not sure I care.
I don't care. Because at some point, that team is going to run the football.
There's a name that was said in our YouTube chat, and I'm trying to find who said it. Jonathan Welch, is DeAndre Swift a must-have? I'm not going to say a must-have, but where he's going, I like him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not taking him over Isaiah Pacheco.
No.
Pacheco is the one that you're going to hear me say that name 411,000 times. You'll also hear me say Khalil Herbert's name 1,000 times. Stat that I really love throwing out there. Other than Breece Hall would have, if he had qualified with enough carries, he was averaging 5.8 yards carry last year. There was only one running back in the same era of carries that was better than him. You know who it was?
Khalil Herbert.
5.9 yards a carry.
That's pretty incredible.
And now he's the dude because they figured out David Montgomery was like the Sasquatch of the NFL. By the way, don't fall for him in Detroit either. Well, they lost Jamal Williams. Yeah, they have Jahmyr Gibbs. He's the one. Yeah, you want to take a Detroit running back? That's the one.
So are we all out on Alvin Kamara?
No. I would really like to know how many games I'm going to have him.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly when we're going to know that.
Because I'm looking at Fantasy Pros right now, and they have him as their 31st running back.
That's because they're mentally thinking he's going to miss the first 8 games, the first 8 games of the season. And if that's the case, then yeah, that's roughly where he belongs. And he will be the guy we talk about of how early is too early. Because for me, I'm going to start looking at him I'm going to start looking at him in week 5 or in round 5. Excuse me. Okay, I can get myself through 8 weeks. I need that dude at the end of the season. Now, it can bust on you. Deshaun Watson did last year. That was the guy we talked about 100 times.
Right.
It can also really pay off.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Just a taste of the fantasy football content you're going to be getting here in the Sportsocracy over the next few weeks as we run up to the start of the season. Again, 37 days away from the Hall of Fame game.
Now's a great time to point out the Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest. If you haven't signed up for that yet, we will be emceeing the Ultimate Fantasy Weekend for you and your league mates. And even if you don't win that prize, that's how we'll be stacking the show league. You get on this show, talk about your team. Maybe, if you've got a cause or something, you can pub that, do all those things. Link is in the description of our YouTube video and will be on the Facebook and the Instagram and all the different things later on today.
This is the Sportsocracy, and when we come back, it'll be time to get just a bit outside.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Less storm coverage, more heat this week. In fact, we're pulling up into the 90s, I think, by the late week forecast here. We're not far today. 61 degrees in the valley tonight with 50s with higher elevations. Less storm coverage around next several days. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. High temps in the mid-80s in the valley. And then some low 90s showing up here by Thursday, Friday. Hit and miss showers expected for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
If you're suffering and there's a safe, natural, easy-to-use solution to help make you feel better, wouldn't you at least want to try it? That's why millions of people use Navage Nasal Care to help relieve their symptoms of sinus congestion, allergies, snoring, and other nasal-related problems. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Candace, a verified Navage user who writes, "This is the greatest invention ever made. I truly can't believe the difference and the relief it has made in my sinus problems. Thank you." Unquote. Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to ESPNAVL.com.
DQ presents Picture This. You're getting together with all your best friends. Now picture all your best friends are actually the delicious ingredients of the new cake batter cookie dough blizzard. That's DQ soft serve, cake batter flavor, confetti cookie dough pieces, and DQ signature sprinkles. Oh, hey, it sounds like you got some pretty sweet friends. And that's worth cueing the confetti. Cookie dough! The flavor party isn't gonna last forever, so hurry in and get your cake batter fix today. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. And there is, we don't talk a lot of college golf on this show because, again, who really cares?
But because there's not a lot to talk about.
There's not a lot to talk about.
Hey,
However,
this
one
group
of the
people that you don't know who they are, they did stuff.
Yeah. However, one of the greatest commitments of all time in college sports has happened. Happy Gilmore, ladies and gentlemen, is joining the college golf team of Ball State.
Are you serious?
Swear to God, there is a kid named Happy Gilmore that has committed to play at Ball State. He got the congratulations from the one and only Adam Sandler over the weekend on Twitter.
As well he should.
This kid's given name is Happy.
That's not his given name. It's a nickname.
Is it a nickname?
Yeah, it's a nickname.
All right.
But that's 100% what he goes by. He's on the team website as Happy. That's
hilarious.
Almost become like his accepted name. I can't remember what his legal first name is, but
look, it's congratulations to him. He's obviously got some. That's an NIL deal waiting to happen.
Oh yeah,
right. I mean, there's got to be somebody in Indiana, some business in Indiana that wants to have Happy Gilmore on their roster.
No, I mean, if he doesn't step up to the first tee and take a running swing, he's doing it wrong.
Picked up the nickname Happy when he was about 6 years old. Started playing in golf tournaments when he was 6. His first name is Landon, by the way. Happy,
Landon.
Better change.
We have, Tank and I have a lot of friends here in the media business. And a few of them work at the ASAP network. And over the weekend, they got an interview with Ice Cube. Well, they weren't the only ones that he talked to.
ASAP?
That's the Jay Ness and Jay McLovin and all those guys, of which we love them. They do great work. He did not say what I'm going to say on their program, but he did say it on the Dan Le Batard program. They asked him about working with the NBA. As you know, he's affiliated with the Big Three. And he said... I don't give up expletive about working with the NBA. What I want them to do when I say work with us is stop working against us. We have Hall of Famers as our coaches, and nobody's watching our product.
Of course they're not.
Because can you name me a player in the Big Three? Alonzo Gee is one of them. Mario Chalmers, Michael Beasley, Julian Wright. By the way, when he says Hall of Famers as our coaches, well, I mean, technically he's not wrong. Michael Cooper and Rick Mahorn, not exactly what I would. I mean, when I think Hall of Famer, those are not necessarily the names that come front of mind. That's one of those that you go.
No, they had better ones the first years. The first years they had like Gary Payton was a coach. Rick Barry was one of the coaches. Like that's Hall of Fame coaches.
Yeah, now they have Reggie. Rick Barry's still a coach, by the way.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they have like Reggie Theus.
Because I'll be honest with you, I turned the television on yesterday about 10:30 in the morning. Just wanted to see what's on. You know what's going on this Sunday morning. I turned it on to CBS, and guess what there was? Big Three basketball.
Gary Payton's still coaching in this league.
Yeah,
so basically, all the names that you were talking about, they're still there, and nobody cares.
Who else would take this job? Honestly, I mean, they were live, or they weren't live because all that's pre-recorded, and they were in like Chicago, Illinois, at the United Center. And there were 17 people there to see Joe Johnson and the trilogy.
Tens and tens of people just love this.
Like, you guys are still doing this? Talking about the 4-point play, the 4-pointer. You can only have like 3 4-pointers in one game, so you got to spread them out when you really need them. So stupid.
You watch the Ball Hogs, led by Leandro Barbosa.
Yeah.
Take on Bivouac. Let's go there.
Yeah.
Led by Gerald Greene and Corey Brewer. So basically what you did is you took every card-carrying captain a team gets mine that's ever existed in the NBA, except the ones that were, what's that word I'm looking for? Good. You took all of them. You took all of the guys that would come in on the second team and go full team gets mine, shoot 17 times a night, and you went, this is just as good as the NBA. That, to me, is like getting a frozen pack of chicken nuggies and putting it in a Chick-fil-A box and handing it to me and going, this is just as good. And I pick it up and I go, there's freezer burn on this. It's actually just still frozen on the inside. I think I'm going to go to actual Chick-fil-A and get good food as opposed to this, which is crap.
Yeah. The Big Three's terrible.
It does absolutely nothing. And frankly, I forgot they were still doing it.
I did as well.
That's how little I care.
That's why I think it's so funny that you got a Big Three story today after I was sitting there in front of my television going, I remember going to this live in Charlotte 4 years ago, coming back and reporting on this here program that this was the worst thing I'd ever seen.
You know what's funny? As I'm looking through these rosters, there are a lot of guys on these teams that were in the game that we played with the intern Jake, which was lottery winner or lottery loser. Earl Clark. He plays in the Big Three.
Oh, my God.
How many games did he play in the NBA? 6, because that's how long it took for them to go, oh, yeah, he's not good. Yeah, he's not. No.
So would you rather watch the USFL or the Big Three? Be honest.
Not applicable.
That's a tough question.
I mean, gun to my head, I got to go Big Three.
I think I still watch the USFL. Sorry.
No, because even the Big Three, I know some of those names. Like, I know Joe Johnson. You remember Joe Johnson from the highlight reel days with the Atlanta Hawks.
Well, here's the problem. The USFL, and it's ironic you said that, and I'll get to why in just a minute. The USFL and the Big Three, they both have one thing in common, is that my television accidentally lands on these, and all I can think of.
I am 35 years old. I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
Matt Foley plays in the USFL and the Big Three. I once made $17 million a year. How much do you make to play in the Big Three? $17 a year. And And they pick up the check when we stop at Bennigan's after the game. Let's go.
And Ice Cube shows up at our games and rubs his money in our face. Look how much money I have compared to the $4 that I paid you.
Ice Cube shows up. He's like, I just ate at Ruth Chris. He's got a toothpick. He's about picking up the steak bits. And they're like, we ate at Bennigan's. And we had to share an appetizer.
Right.
This is not as fun as I want it to be.
It's like I saw a movie over the weekend, and we can talk about that coming up later on in the show because Jeremy also saw a movie over the weekend.
Jake, that's a fun segment that we play on this here program because I don't watch movies because in large part they're stupid.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I don't watch movies ever.
No. Okay, be honest. When was the last time you saw a movie other than the time you just saw it?
Probably the last time we played, I saw a movie. I think it was when I saw the Batman.
I was going to say Cocaine Bear. You saw Cocaine Bear.
I did see Cocaine
Bear. Cocaine Bear?
100%. That was Cocaine Bear was a legendary piece of cinematic history. You do not duke on Cocaine Bear. Okay? Cocaine Bear was phenomenal. It has spawned several sequels. Meth Gator, gonna be a banger.
Cocaine Shark's out now.
Cocaine Shark is out right now.
Yeah.
Cocaine Bear was great. All right, I watched the great movies, the stalwart movies, the Cocaine Bears, the Sharknadoes. I saw every one of those. I'm not making that up. I saw every single one of them.
So stupid.
Yeah, but okay, all right. So let's play a game, and I swear to you, we have not. We did not brace him for this.
Yes.
Name any movie that you think every person on the planet has seen.
Harry Potter.
Never seen it. Couldn't name you a character. Think it's without a doubt the stupidest thing I have ever come in contact with.
You like Christmas movies though?
I barely like Christmas, but I will say with Christmas movies, I have watched them doing the 12 Days of Christmas movies for the last 3 years, so I've seen a lot of them. Like National Lampoon's Vacation. I have seen that, and it is awesome. Home Alone, also awesome. Like Christmas Story, awful. Worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
You don't like A Christmas Story?
No, I was so angry by the end of it that I wanted to punch Tank in the face because he set me up to watch it.
Really?
Then I watched the second one, which he hated and I liked.
I didn't even know there was a second.
It just came out last year.
Oh.
That was the third one.
Wait, what?
There was A Christmas Story 2.
Okay, which I'm sure was
no one. I've never seen it.
Cinematic dog water.
Right.
The Godfather. Never seen it.
Avatar?
Never seen it. Flying Blue People. I'm out. Oh, I mean, I could literally tell you
Star Wars. He doesn't do Star Wars.
You don't watch Star Wars
He
either.
can't do Space Bears and
why would I want to watch Space
Bears?
The thing I can't do with Star Wars is they understand the bear. Like, I've never been able to wrap my head around that. So you get people, and they show up with the space bear, and he goes, oh, good point, bear. Let's do that, bear. It's stupid. Gold vacuum cleaner and talking, beeping trash can. I'm out.
Yeah.
This is some disrespect.
Crazy. Absolutely.
Right?
It's completely disrespect.
Oh, yeah, it's awful. Yeah, virtually every movie that people grew up loving, I can defecate right on. I'll just dunk on it. Just because it makes no sense to me.
So you only watch weird animal movies and in Batman. Is what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Bingo.
Here's the thing. Drug-addled animal is something that could theoretically happen. Harry Potter cannot. And so I'm Seacrest out. If it can't really happen, you lose me before I even get through the pamphlet on the back.
So you think Batman can really happen?
100% Batman can happen. Elon Musk could be Batman. No doubt. And he's going to prove that when he dunks on Mark Zuckerberg, and I can't wait to see it.
Not going to happen.
Batman could, that's why every other superhero, I could care less. Superman, never watch one. Ever. Because it can't happen. There's no Krypton man. There is somebody that has so much money that they can train themselves to be a badass and throw on a little bat costume and fight crime, which is why I like Batman.
I'm in disbelief right now. Are you serious?
That's my logic.
And that is the reaction that I've had for the last 7 years, knowing Jeremy, of all of the things that you believe can actually happen. Batman is one of them.
No doubt. Elon Musk could be Batman. He's got a bajillion. He's got like $180 billion. You're telling me somebody couldn't make him a costume to fly? Of course he could.
It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Coming up after the top of the hour, Sports Center update. We're going to get into some NFL headlines. We've also got some off-season files to go over with you today. What are the two teams that we're doing?
The Arizona Cardinals and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Okay, so there's one of those to look forward to this,
one of them.
in this show.
One of them I'm just going to have fun. Your team is bad.
We've also got a fun game to play coming up after the top of the hour. The ultimate sports IQ quiz. I've been told Jake's been working hard on this to give, just to test Jeremy and myself. So we'll play that game coming up later on in the program. Plus, Jeremy's picks of the night in Greene on Greene is next.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people.
I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina.
Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
You might not know this, but the Ingles Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things, really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Your home is the place where you know your loved ones are secure. But the things that keep your home protected can't keep pests at bay. That's where RAID comes in. For 60 years, RAID scientists have worked to protect people around the world. With trusted research, ingredients, testing standards, and product efficacy, RAID seeks to create a better future for all. Especially the ones you love most. RAID. Protection for all.
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted each year. Help police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now, complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
Get your tickets now
at AXS.com
for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Coming back to Las Vegas.
2 nights.
September 22nd and 23rd.
1 stage.
At T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
This is the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Buy your tickets for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival now.
Before they sell out.
At AXS.com.
That's AXS.com.
WORK Work News Radio.
Next up, incidents of pressing all the elevator buttons unexpectedly spike on Bring Your Kid to Work Day. But first, the latest on a team lunch that wasn't ordered through EasyCater.
I'm in the break room where lunch that was previously announced on the way has now been downgraded to hopefully soon.
Fingers crossed, Michelle. Fingers crossed.
Newsflash, it's hard when the food is late, but at EasyCater, we make hard easy. With food for work delivered on time and is ordered from over 100,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Coffee closes on.
Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Well, boys and girls, we are to Game 3 of the College World Series, and I'm here to prove to you that the Double Down's not just the favorite sandwich of fat people like me. This is Greene on Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. Last week, I told you to roll with the LSU Tigers, plus 380 to win this series, and that looked really good until 24-4 happened last night. Hey, here's the thing. Don't let that get you. Recency bias is a thing. 60% of the money tonight is on the over. People are terrified to go one direction or the other. So let me cut through the nonsense for you. LSU's got an ace pitcher. His name's Paul Skeens. He pitched in game 1, and he was flawless. He's going to pitch tonight at some point, too, and nobody can hit this kid, which is why he's going to be a really high pick in the baseball draft. College baseball, not exactly like professional baseball, because Florida is taking their best power hitter and putting him on the mound tonight. That could be a bit of a problem. So, just like Kentucky Fried Chicken, I'm a double down, baby. Give me LSU again. I'll give the run differential at plus 110. I'm taking them to win by more than 1.5, which would pay off both of the wagers. And to get away from the recency bias, I'm going under in total runs. For more, find us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, love the savings with Ingles, love the winnings with me. Mullet out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Less storm coverage, more heat this week. In fact, we're pulling up into the 90s, I think, by the late week forecast here. We're not far today. 61 degrees in the valley tonight with 50s with higher elevations. Less storm coverage around next several days. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. High temps in the mid-80s in the valley. And then some low 90s showing up here by Thursday, Friday. Hit and miss showers expected for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America has powerful digital solutions for local and global businesses, so you can make every move matter. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. Bank of America, N.A. Copyright 2023.
If summer is heating up your hiring needs, then you need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Will Damian Lillard be the next NBA superstar to request a trade? That remains to be seen. On Get Up, ESPN's Brian Windhorst said the Blazers point guard will be gathering with his closest advisors to discuss his next move, if any. Lillard said at the end of the regular season he wasn't interested in a youth movement, wanted Portland to upgrade with veterans. Blazers hoping Lillard will allow some time to work with third overall pick Scoot Henderson and see what other moves they can make in free agency. But there is an issue with that, explains Windhorst.
The suitors who are going to want Dame Lillard do not have that luxury. They are going to need to know whether or not he is going to put himself on the market in the next few days. He's got a teammate in Jeremy Grant, whose decision on free agency will, whether to re-sign with the Blazers or look elsewhere, will largely depend on what Dame would like to do.
The Hawks finalizing a trade to send forward John Collins to the Jazz for forward Rudy Gay and a future second-round draft pick, reports ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski. Atlanta getting financial flexibility by unloading the 3 years, $78 million that Collins has left on his contract.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Greene. That's Greene. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
It is the Sportsocracy, and we are live in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app. You can take us with you everywhere you go. See us everywhere you go. With YouTube, go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. That gets you into the chat with us. Each and every day, we're talking about movies at the end of the last hour, and Jeremy doesn't see a lot of movies.
No, I detest movies.
However, he did see one over the weekend. We'll talk about that coming up over the next couple of hours of the program.
If I say it was worth watching, it was worth watching.
I saw one over the weekend as well that I think all fans of this show and all sports fans should see. It's a hell of a movie. We'll talk about that coming up as well. And look. We got, some headlines in the NFL. We're 37 days away from the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio.
Which means we're getting close to camps. After the 4th of July holiday, we'll be right there. It's time.
Oh, it's go time. It's go time on the football season. We will continue the off-season files for you here in this hour and the next. We've got the Arizona Cardinals coming up later on in this hour, and then next hour we'll be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. Daily draft today. What are we doing?
So ESPN did a list. Bill Barnwell specifically did a list of
which immediately means it's stupid.
Yes.
100%.
Of the best playmakers. So that's wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. And he had the Minnesota Vikings at 6, which means I'm going to call him stupid.
It's a little high. So today's daily draft will be the skill positions.
Snoop Dogg is a little high. That is insane. You must be doing recreational drugs to get. There's no other explanation for that. That basically is saying Justin Jefferson is the 6th best group of weapons in the NFL. Okay, your running back's Alexander Madison, but we have T.J. Hawkinson. Yay! Wowie!
Anyhow,
but we have the intern Jake, who has become an integral part of this show and taught me how to say the word integral. So I'd say integral this time like I usually do. He's got a game, and he's been very excited about the game. And so, that means it's time to play a few.
We're talking about the Sports IQ Showdown here on the Sportsocracy. Let's talk about it, guys.
All right.
So we got 3 questions with multiple answers and 2 questions with 1 answer. Whoever dings their bell first, I will call on you, and you tell me an answer. All right.
Oh, I was just practicing. I wanted to make sure that the bell was working.
I got you.
Give your answer now, dum-dum. That's how it works. It's like Jeopardy. I'll rang in before the question was asked.
Justin Jefferson.
Okay, guess the most random thing you could possibly say.
So we have 5 questions. It's from 3 different sports. Who has the best sports IQ on the show?
Uh-oh. 3 sports. That doesn't lend itself to me.
So first question. This is a juicy one. Since 2011, 6 wide receivers have been taken in the top 5. Who are they? Jeremy.
Since 2011, in the top 5.
Yes.
Jamar Chase is 1.
Correct.
He went at 5.
Yeah.
Next.
Hell, since 2011, I can't even
That's
think.
A great answer.
Wide receivers taken in the top 5. It's not fair. I'm not a draft guy like Jeremy. I can't even recall this.
Come on, you got this.
Justin Jefferson.
That is
incorrect. He went at 22.
I have no idea.
We railed on that forever.
I have no idea.
Because you couldn't believe that it happened. Of all names for you to say, that one makes, I think, possibly the least sense.
Jeremy, you want to steal here?
Oh, let's see. That went in the top 5. Okay, Waddle was just outside of the top 5. I'm trying to walk it back year by year.
Yeah, since 2011.
I'm I'm looking at the list of teams that went in the top 5. None of you have one. All right, so I have to ask for a point of clarification like we're playing the spelling bee.
Okay.
All right, so you mean only wide receivers, not pass catchers?
Only wide receivers.
Only wide receivers.
There's been 6 wide receivers taken in the top 5 of the NFL draft since 2011.
Corey Davis.
That is correct. That is 2 points for Jeremy already. So
Gross. Absolutely gross.
You have a rebuttal, though?
It gets much harder. In the top 5, there's really been that many?
There's been 6 wide receivers taken in the top 5. So right now we have Corey Davis and Jamar Chase. There are 4 more. 3 still playing in the NFL. 1, I don't know where he is. I really don't.
Okay.
I would say that one.
Oh, yes. I'll steal because he looks stumped.
I have no idea.
Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper is correct, and that is 3 for Jeremy. So, yes, we have Jamar Chase, Corey Davis, Amari Cooper. 3 more here.
I know one, but it was too long ago. He was before that.
Tank, you got an answer?
No.
AJ Greene.
AJ Greene is correct. We have a 4-0 sweep right now. That's 4 out of the 6.
Julio Jones.
No.
He was too early.
That's
because he's old.
Yeah,
he was like, I think he was 09.
Yeah.
And he may have gone at 6.
I don't know.
CeeDee Lamb.
Nope. He went in the teens.
No. Yeah.
No clue.
Oh, there's 2 more.
Devontae Smith.
No, he went at 10.
Debo Samuel.
No.
He went in the 2nd round.
Christian Watson.
You're awful at this
game. Of course I'm awful at this game. I don't know who went in the top 5 of the draft. I don't pay that close attention.
There's still 2 more. You don't know where
we have Corey Davis, Jamar Chase, Amari Cooper, and AJ Greene. There's 2 more. One, I literally cannot tell you where he is right now. I do not know if he's even alive. The other one, no, guys, I'm serious. He's one of the biggest draft busts of all time, if that gives you any hint. And
I think all the ones I'm thinking of are too long ago.
Yeah, like Carlos Rogers.
Carlos Rogers was a corner, and that was in the early 2000s.
Who was the Rogers that?
Charles Rogers.
Oh, it's Charles Rogers.
T's and P's, because he actually is
deceased
with us. I don't think I can name any. Since 2011, I'm just making another trip through the world to make sure that I don't.
Okay.
Because Kyle Pitts is a pass catcher, but he was a tight end, not a receiver.
All right, I'm going to give each one of you one more guess.
Tank, go ahead, because your guess is going to be awful, and it'll give me a second to come up with one that might
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is incorrect. No.
He went at like 8.
Yeah. Jeremy, finish us off on this first question.
This was Justin Blackman is too long ago. Justin Blackman is correct. I do not know where he's at right now. Let's go. I literally do not know where he's at. Let's go. And the last one was This is going to make me angry.
Sammy Watkins.
That was within the last it was.
Yeah.
Because he's still in the league. I should have known that.
Yeah. Good for you, Jeremy.
So the 6 wide receivers, Corey Davis, Jamar Chase, Sammy Watkins, Amari Cooper, AJ Greene, and Justin Blackman were all taken in the top 5.
Let's go. That's a 5-0 lead for me.
5-0 lead. Holy moly. Now let's see if Tank can do something in this question.
Nope.
There have been 3 15 seeds to win a game in the NCAA tournament in the last 3 years. Who are they?
Oh, God.
Florida Gulf Coast.
No.
That's
in
incorrect.
the last 3 years, I didn't listen to the question.
Tank?
St. Peter's.
St. Peter's is correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't listen to the question. I got an answer in my head and I just ran with it. In the last 3 years.
It's been each year's had one.
Fairleigh Dickinson was a 16, but there was a 15 this year. I have absolutely no idea.
Tank, you want to steal?
15 seed. Mercer.
No.
No, they were like a 10 seed, weren't they, when they beat Duke?
No, they were 14. Duke was a 3.
I'll tell you a little hint here. Both of these teams made it to the Sweet 16.
That is not a hint because I already knew that. But I can't think of who the schools were because I'm actually trying to Oral Roberts?
Oral Roberts is correct.
Damn it.
That means there's one more.
And it was this year.
And it was this past year.
It was this year, and I, for the life of me, cannot think of who it was.
And Tank, you are on the board.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so now he's only down 6-1. If
Yes.
he gets everything right from here on out, he's got a shot. I cannot believe I'm forgetting this.
Montana State.
No.
I don't know.
I genuinely don't know, and it will make me so angry when you tell me.
All right, last guesses, guys. No?
No.
All I can think of is Fairleigh Dickinson and their coach that looks like he showered in a gas station bathroom. I can't think of anybody else.
And so the last number 15 seed to win a game in the NCAA tournament was the Ivy League school themselves, Princeton.
Yeah.
They were a 15.
They were a 15. They upset Arizona.
I should know that because my West Virginia Mountaineers just solidified the commitment of Kirk Risa.
So that
and lost Trey Mitchell to Kentucky because, the Country Roads Trust gave him $1 bajillion, and he went, thank you for this money, and now I'm going to go play at Kentucky.
All right.
Next.
So this is the last question with multiple answers.
Current score 6-1.
6-1, Jeremy.
Only stating that because,
holy moly. Now this one, I feel like
it's thumb on the scale. Let's give him a draft question.
This is both of your guys' ballpark right here. Okay? First one to bring in. Can you name the last 4 NFL franchises to relocate? Jeremy.
Houston Oilers.
That's correct. Tank.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders is correct.
To relocate. Cleveland Browns?
No.
Incorrect, Tank.
Los Angeles Rams.
Los Angeles Rams is correct.
Los Angeles Chargers.
And the Los Angeles Chargers are correct.
Indeed.
All right.
That went quick.
Yeah. We knew those. That helped.
All right. So this next question is worth 3 points. And the final question is worth 5 points.
Oh.
Because these are a little hard.
Which means Tank can get dog walked and still win. Let's go.
All right. Second to last question here. Which NBA team has the most finals appearances without a championship?
Finals appearances without a championship. Oh, that's a doozy.
Tank Spencer?
Philadelphia 76ers.
That is incorrect.
They have one. A long time ago.
Oh, they've never won one.
Nope.
Yes.
Most finals appearances without a championship.
Indiana Pacers.
That is incorrect. You guys want hints? I can give you a
finals appearances without a championship.
Nobody's got it in the
Seattle/Oklahoma City.
No. No one's got it in the comments either on the YouTube.
They won one. The Portland Trailblazers.
No.
And I feel like we get one guess each because I've got another guess. All right, you go. I feel like I might know this.
Ooh.
Yep.
Los Angeles Clippers.
Never been there. The Utah Jazz.
No.
The Clippers never made a finals?
No.
Not even like back in the Rick Barry days?
No. All right, now I got to know, who in the world is that? Oh, this is going to be some defunct franchise. I didn't even think about that.
Phoenix Suns.
The Suns have a title. They just won it 2 years ago. Oh, no, they lost.
They lost it.
No, they didn't.
Oh, they lost the finals. I should have known that. I am
Phoenix
a big,
Suns.
stupid animal. I stared right at them, and that was the team when I said they won one. That's who I was like, oh, I'm a moron. Oh.
That one, oh, my goodness.
I want to go yell at a pigeon.
I'm sorry. But that means Nobody gets the points. Nobody gets the points.
And that means now
serious?
Tank can only tie me.
Tank can only tie you.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys can even get this question, honestly. This one's juicy. You guys know I love my soccer.
Oh,
I love my soccer.
Nobody's ever getting this
Oh,
one.
Lord. It's a
Ronaldo.
Stop.
Wayne Rooney.
No, stop. Listen. What is the first and last name of a player on the U.S. men's national soccer team?
Oh, Christian Pulisic.
Christian Pulisic is correct, and that means we end in a tie.
Just like in soccer. Tiebreaker question?
Just like in soccer.
But did we though?
We did.
Did we end in a tie?
We did.
I mean, we had the same number of points. This is like the big three. Tank just hit one from the parking lot. You got stomps for the entire thing, but we tied.
It's the only thing that matters.
How millennial
Final
of us.
score.
How millennial of us.
We'll say the same thing to you that.
How do you
Jim
know Christian
Boeheim,
Pulisic?
I mean, he's like
He
the
didn't
greatest
mean to.
U.S. soccer player of all time, isn't he? Isn't he?
He's Captain America.
I mean, come on. No, who's number 2? The greatest American soccer player of all time. Who's number 2?
Landon Donovan.
Kobe Jones.
If you had
Clint
said
Dempsey.
If you had
Clint
said
Dempsey
one
would have
of
been
all
going.
time, I could have done that.
Landon Donovan.
Freddie Adu.
Talk about Freddie Adu.
He was bad. He was supposed to be real good.
I can name some.
I don't know that I could. If you gave me 4 points right now for naming another one,
Howard. Who was the goalie? What was his first
Tim
name?
Howard. He
Tim
doesn't play
Howard. He was a
anymore.
he's
beast.
40-something years old now.
Oh,
Have
sure.
you ever heard him talk?
Yes.
That boy's not American.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. People would say the same thing about me. So, I genuinely couldn't name another player on the other side.
There's another one in my head, but Gio Reyna.
Gio Reyna, that's correct. I talked about Fowler and Balogun on the show like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Jake,
the guy from England.
So
he's a dog. He scored in the championship game.
So Jake, I'm going to be real honest with you. I want you to rehash in the production meeting before the show where Tank got very excited to tell us about his crime story. And it was the same story that I told on Friday.
100%
and he
it
looked
was.
at us like, Jeremy told that? Yes, for 4 solid minutes.
Don't even remember.
Don't even know. You know why? Because we don't listen to each other around here. That's what we do.
He's not wrong.
Dude, we're two people that have worked together for over 5 years now.
Oh, this is hilarious. Yeah, it was hilarious when I told it on Friday.
Bingo. Let's go. That is the grossest tie in the history of ties. Tank ties me because he knew
I feel like I get the tiebreaker for giving you another soccer player.
Yeah, I don't.
No, we're not going to count that.
The fact that you chucked out in a draft question a slew of guys that not only were they not drafted in the last 12 years, they didn't go in the top 5 when they did get drafted. I feel like we should have deducted points for physically impossible. That was fun.
Well, I'm glad you guys
I don't like that you tied me based off one question.
I'm just saying, we do have a commercial break coming up. Feel like in that time, he could come up with a tiebreaker question.
Oh, 100%.
And we could settle this thing.
That's about anything but soccer.
Okay.
Evan Doyle said the tiebreaker should be hockey. Why are we going sports that we don't watch is the tiebreaker?
The sports
it's
IQ.
It's a football, basketball
It's
show.
the sports IQ.
I drug you down the sidewalk in football and basketball. And now we're going to, you know what? While we're at it, let's do a lacrosse question. Name a lacrosse team on the planet.
Duke.
City. Let's go.
First one that comes to mind, right, guys?
And make them laugh, make them laugh.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound, stop and go between Bavard Road and the French Broad River due to an accident. 26 westbound, stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. In Fairview, Charlotte Highway near Hollywood Road delays both directions. In Clyde, US 74 near Carolina Boulevard, an accident has the left lane closed. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If summer is heating up your hiring needs, then you need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
In a new series from the teams at Novel and iHeartRadio, this is The Fighty Pucks. We're going out on the ice with the most violent hockey team ever.
That was guerrilla warfare at its highest.
Were they heroes or villains? You decide.
You and I are going to have a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Welcome to the jungle.
Listen to The Fighty Pucks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
DQ presents Picture This. You're getting together with all your best friends. Now picture all your best friends are actually the delicious ingredients of the new cake batter cookie dough blizzard. That's DQ soft serve, cake batter flavor, confetti cookie dough pieces, and DQ signature sprinkles. Oh, hey, it sounds like you got some pretty sweet friends. And that's worth cueing the confetti. Cookie dough! The flavor party isn't gonna last forever, so hurry in and get your cake batter fix today. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
You might not know this, but the Ingles Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things, really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
That is some good, clean family fun there, eh, Cot?
It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Just a little over an hour and a half away from vacation for me. Really looking forward to that.
Tank is mentally checked out, which is why he tried to his guess at a top 5 receiver was Carlos Rogers.
Don Hudson.
Who not only has not been drafted in the last 12 years, was not a receiver, and didn't go in the top 5. You could have said Sebastian Janikowski and been as close to right.
Hey, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah,
this time,
somehow,
I tied.
And yet somehow you tied. I don't like that. I don't like that you got just eviscerated in that.
All right, so the sports IQ quiz. Do we have a tiebreaker?
We have a tiebreaker.
Oh,
I did a little bit of searching during the break.
Are there more than one answer to this question?
There are 5 answers to the questions.
There we go. All right.
So, there are 5 NFL teams with 2 or more Super Bowl appearances without a Super Bowl win. Who are they? Jeremy.
They won one. Arizona Cardinals.
That is incorrect.
That is incorrect.
Tank Spencer?
When did they win one?
They haven't.
They haven't
only
been to 2.
1. They've only been to 1.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowls without winning one. Arizona went to 1 against Pittsburgh. No, they won another one.
In my head, they
yeah, Boomer Esiason.
They had Boomer Esiason.
Tank, you buzzed in.
It's Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills. That is correct. Tank
Nobody
Spencer
circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals is correct, and we are tied
Nice.
again. 3 more teams.
Minnesota Vikings.
Minnesota Vikings is correct.
That was the one I thought. I thought they won one in the Purple People Eater.
Nope. They went 4-0-4, just like the Buffalo Bills.
They won one. They haven't been to 2.
Oh.
You gotta at least let me say something.
Jeremy?
They haven't been to 2. They've been to 2.
Been to 2 or more.
Mm-hmm.
And haven't won one.
Have not won one. So right now, Tank, you said the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
We had the Buffalo Bills.
Yes. And the Cincinnati Bengals.
And the Cincinnati Bengals. We got 2 more.
I know they haven't been, though.
I'm going to give you 15 seconds, Jeremy.
Oh, I like that. Put me on the clock. They haven't been to enough.
7, 6.
Miami Dolphins. They won one in 72.
That
I have
is
absolutely
incorrect.
no idea.
Tank Spencer for the win.
The Atlanta Falcons.
That is correct.
Extra
Tank
bonus points if
Spencer.
I give you the last one.
What is it?
The Carolina
The
Panthers.
Carolina Panthers is correct. Tank
they did
Spencer
get
is going to win the
Boom.
Sports IQ Showdown. Congrats, Tank. I
Hey, I feel like we should hit the who's going to break the news.
Oh,
Tank beat Jeremy at a game.
That's not.
I don't want to see that dance for.
I don't either.
Oh Lord, that was a good time though.
Oh, it's you know what? It's worse without the music. Genuinely, it is 100% worse without the music.
All right, it is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Yes.
It is
coming up.
We have slid back into fantasy football content because we're right here at the time when camps are starting, not long after we come back from the 4th of July vacation. This is the perfect time to sign up for our Ultimate Fantasy Draft Contest. We're putting on the Ultimate Draft Weekend for somebody. This is also how we will fill our show league. So you'll be able to come in here, do a segment with us. You know, if you have a cause or anything like that, you can tell the lovely listeners about that, and you'll get to play fantasy football against us. And all of the proceeds go to the Eblin Charities projects over the rest of the year.
Coming up after the break here in the Sportsocracy, it'll be time to get weird. And then another offseason files. The Arizona Cardinals. Next up on the offseason files here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Less storm coverage, more heat this week. In fact, we're pulling up into the 90s, I think, by the late week forecast here. We're not far today. 61 degrees in the valley tonight with 50s with higher elevations. Less storm coverage around next several days. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. High temps in the mid-80s in the valley. And then some low 90s showing up here by Thursday, Friday. Hit and miss showers expected for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound, stop and go between Bavard Road and the French Broad River due to an accident. 26 westbound, stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweeten Creek Road southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. In Fairview, Charlotte Highway near Hollywood Road delays both directions. In Clyde, US 74 near Carolina Boulevard, an accident has the left lane closed. I'm Lyndon Fuel with
This
you.
report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If summer is heating up your hiring needs, then you need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Sponsor your first job and get hiring today by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Looking for an electrician job that has it all? Then join Emory Electric. Competitive pay? Check. A supportive team? Check. A clear path to career growth? Check. Yes, Emory Electric has it all. They offer the best pay rates because Emory Electric values its team. Ready to light up your career? Call Emory Electric at 828-658-8300 or visit EmoryElectric.com/careers. That's EMORY electric.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know. We also know that you have no idea that Comparion Insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents. Expert advice.
And there's number 4.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, and let's get weird. So we'll go to DeKalb County, Georgia. DeKalb County, Georgia. Yeah, I've already checked out for vacation. It's all right.
100%, and you still somehow beat me. I'm not going to recover from that for a while.
See, it just goes to show you how good I could be on a day where I'm not already checked out.
It also shows that a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
DeKalb County Police had to evacuate homes in the Ellenwood subdivision after a man and his son woke up last week and found that there had been a dog. There'd been a dog getting their trash in the backyard. Now, why would they have had to evacuate homes? It's because, this dog has been apparently terrorizing the neighborhood for the last few weeks, just getting into everybody's trash cans and ripping all the things out. Well, he did that at this one house, or I guess right next door to the house, took a bag of trash out of somebody else's trash can, drug it into these people's backyard, and then just ripped the bag to shreds. Well, when the kid goes back to survey what damage has been done, how much trash needs to be picked up, he saw a couple of things that looked a little out of the ordinary. One of them looked like it was an accessory to a toy gun, or at least that's what the kid said. Well, it actually turned out to be an actual gun clip, along with something that looked like a fake grenade.
It was a real grenade.
It was a real grenade. The kid went and told Daddy that there looks like there's a fake grenade in the backyard, and he went, "How can you tell that it's fake?" Because this kid's like 10 years old. How could you tell it was fake? Well, the kid just guessed. Obviously it wouldn't be a real one in somebody's trash, but apparently it was. Dad said, "Oh, that looks very real. We need to call the police department," and they showed up. Had to bring in the bomb squad. It was indeed a live grenade that the kid luckily did not pick up and go, "Oh, this looks like a toy." Look, I'm not expecting a 10-year-old to know the difference.
No.
But I'm glad Dad was there to say, we need to call somebody. They came and they disposed of it. Had to evacuate all the houses in the neighborhood just in case this explosive went off. But think of the difference between those moments of, I've got, this dog tearing up the trash. Damn. Oh, but thank God he did. Because what would have happened if that if that had ended up in the back of a trash truck and then somehow got crushed, got exploded in the back of the trash truck, and then everybody's got a problem on their hands. So you have the good dog, bad dog scenario. Bad dog at first, good dog for bringing that to everybody's attention.
My story comes from Sydney, Australia. It's about a man named Aaron D'Souza. He's a London-based businessman, Australian-born, and he has come up with a new version of the Olympiad. He will be hosting the 2024 Enhanced Games. Obviously, in the Olympics, it's the best athletes in the world, competing at all the sports, largely, that we don't watch over the course of the year. Track and field, swimming, weightlifting, all those things. He's going to have the exact same thing. There's only one difference. In the Olympics, you have to test positive, or you have to test negative for steroids. In the Enhanced Games, you have to test positive for steroids. He is actually doing the Charlie Harper, I would watch a meat-covered robot hit baseballs 1,000 feet. He's doing the steroid games, and he is defending it vehemently. Now, his quote says, each Olympiad, another cohort of brave athletes sets new world records, only to have their medals revoked, their careers suspended, and their names dragged through the mud. It's time to end this oppressive cycle. Tank rolled his eyes, so I already know the answer to this. Would you watch it, yes or no?
No.
I actually think I would.
Really?
Yeah.
There is 1,000% better chance that I would watch this than baseball or the Olympics. but it's morally reprehensible. Did you force them to do it? No. Did anybody force the American Gladiators to do all of the things they did? Just watch that documentary. If you haven't seen that, you should. And apparently there's a new one coming out on Netflix on Wednesday, because we just dug up the American Gladiators for the first time in 15 years. Look, I'm not a moralist. I've said that on the show before. You make your own decisions. If you feel the urge to do this, I have no qualms with it.
I mean, by all means, it's going to be on TV. You can get your spot on TV, and all you got to do is a little steroids. Sure, take that risk if you want to. I'm not watching it, not even for a second. Because here's the thing: I wasn't even excited about American Gladiators.
What?
No.
You stop that. American Gladiators was the greatest show in the history of television.
Yeah.
I will fight you right now.
Yeah, it's not.
Ice.
It's Ted Lasso.
Ice. Lace.
Right.
Blazer. Hey, yeah, we should have played that game. How many American Gladiators can you name?
Nitro.
Nitro is it?
I know he was. Look, every kid in the 1980s watched the American Gladiators.
I don't know what this even
point.
is, guys.
What?
Yeah, he doesn't.
You don't know what the... Okay, let's see if we can explain American Gladiators to Jake in a 60-second way. Okay, there was a show hosted by Larry Zonka and Mike... What was his name? Adamley? Mike Adamley, I think was his name. They were two sporting commentators, and they had this group of otherworldly athletes who ate a whole mess of Cliff Bars and probably did... Let's see how I say this nicely. They made Barry Bonds look like Jeremy Greene because they were all Thor, every one of them. And so every week you would have two combatants, and it was two normal people. One of them became a WWE wrestler. Another one, they called him Two Scoops. He was like the ultimate American Gladiator contestant. And this dude next to me would look like a small child. So they would put them through all these gladiator level games. And one of them was we put you on a pedestal. So there are two pedestals. And we give you a giant Q-tip, like a giant Q-tip. And you beat each other brainless with it until one of you falls off the pedestal. But we'll only let you do it for 25 seconds because, brain damage. It didn't stop people from getting just beat brainless doing this. Basically, it was 20 Bill Goldbergs coming up against people that were like tank size. And we watched it like we thought we were going to win something if we watched it enough. And I have screamed that this show should come back for years. But then I watched the documentary and I went, so you're kind of a scumbag there, creator man.
Here's the thing. That's apparently like the hottest thing on Netflix is the documentary of the American
Netflix
Gladiators.
documentary comes out Wednesday. The one that ESPN did, it was a 30 for 30.
Okay.
And it's about the true creator. So apparently these started in like Erie, Pennsylvania. So they created this, and this he was an Elvis impersonator, comes in and steals the concept of American Gladiators and sells it to ABC. And then they completely cut out the other guy. That's not a spoiler. It's on the leaflet of the this was like the hottest show on television for 5 years. It ran for 8.
Close, yeah.
And it was, they had an eliminator where you had to run up basically a treadmill going backwards real fast. So you had to run up that and then do a hand bicycle across a gigantic drop. And if you fell, you landed into it was an inflated bag on a concrete floor. And sometimes they didn't pay the power bill and they didn't inflate that enough because they blew it up with leaf blowers. And then you had to climb a huge cargo net and you walked across and you got on a little zip line and you flew across this entire arena and you got to this end station where so each side there were 3 choices and you had to run through this thing not knowing what was on the other side. And in 2 of them were Thor and Captain America, who were going to try to absolutely knock your head off your shoulders. If you went through the 3rd one, there was nothing there. Now, that sounds like that's the right call, except for the fact that every contestant blitzed through this at full speed. So if there was nothing there, they just went, whee! And face planted on the concrete. That happened like one time about 46 times. They also had a game called the Atmosphere, where it's a gigantic metal ball, and there's little pots on the ground that you have to land this ball in. But there's 2 of these Thor individuals that are trying to decapitate you while you do this. I'm not making any of this up.
Sounds like a dream.
Yeah, it was for the people like me that sat at home with a bag of Funyuns just going, I could do that. You're a wimp. Meanwhile, there's a 6'4", 270-pound man that is beating you in the brain with a Q-tip.
Yeah. No, I was not a huge fan of the American Gladiators.
I've seen every episode ever made.
I have not. And when I saw that there was a documentary about it, I went, yeah, I don't even kind of care.
There was another game called Assault. And what Assault was is there were 5 stations, all right? And they had guns that shot tennis balls. And there was a big target over the head of one of these gigantic hulking people. And they had a gun that also shot tennis balls. And they get the protection. You would think they'd give you like a football helmet or, I don't know, something that would keep you from losing your ability to wipe your own tuchus. But instead, they gave you just a little plastic hockey helmet and a pair of goggles. And they would sit on this thing and shoot tennis balls at you. And they went about 150 miles an hour coming out of that thing. And they hit no less than 10 people directly in the face. Like one guy, I think, lost an eye. I know one guy broke his nose. And so the goal is that you go to each individual stations and you have the gun and you try to shoot the thing. And if you hit the bullseye, you get 10 points. If you hit the red circle on the outside, you get 5 points. So if you shoot all the guns and you didn't hit it with any of them, they let you get like 20 feet away from this tennis ball gun. But, I mean, you got a little thing to hide behind. Yeah. But if you hide behind it, you can't get to the target. So you had to get out of the safety to allow them to shoot you in the face. Then they would let you get to about 20 feet, and you could throw tennis balls at the target. But the problem is, if you got hit with that tennis ball at that station, you were going to forget your name for about 4 days. And then you would think, oh, if you got hit in the face with the gun, surely that was the end of the competition. But wait, there's more. Because the next event, you basically just played rugby with these gigantic humans trying to put a ball in a cylinder. And they would stop you from doing that by beating you brainless.
Yeah.
They would go full Ray Lewis and tackle you across a concrete floor. I have made none of this up.
Is there no lawsuits against this, or
shockingly enough, their liability waiver had to be just ironclad? Because to my knowledge, no. And people would fight each other to get on this show. They would go to these regional qualifiers and stand in line for hours on end. I actually know 2 people that did this. Neither one made the show, but they tried. And there would be thousands of people there trying to get on this show. And now you would think, surely, if you win this tournament, because you had to do this 6 times to win it? I think there's 32 people on each side, so you had to do it 5 times. Surely you win hundreds of thousands of dollars. It was $25,000.
That's it?
Yeah, and there's one of the gladiators can't walk now because he did so many steroids that now he has to have a little cart that he walks behind because he can't stand up straight. And it blows your mind as you watch this going, but how did we not think about this? How did we not look at this? We called it American Gladiators. And it was to say it was barbaric was, that's putting it nicely.
So again, going back to the original story here that we came from, the steroid games, no, I'm out.
Well, according to our YouTube chat, they would be in because, like me, they loved American Gladiators.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM at 1400. The Arizona Cardinals. It's going to be it's not going to be the greatest of seasons for them. We'll talk about their off-season files next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 240 West 10 eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 westbound stop and go approaching Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road delays. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound light delays near Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In Clyde, US 74 near Carolina Boulevard, an accident does have the left lane closed. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Stop waiting for a great deal on better sleep. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is happening now. Save up to $700 on top brands when you get a king bed for a queen price. Plus, get a free adjustable base on qualifying purchases. Shop today to get the right bed at the right price.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Did you know 1 in 4 car batteries is weak and needs to be replaced? O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery needs to be replaced, our professional parts people can help you find the right Super Start battery for your vehicle and budget. Don't wait. Get your battery tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. In a new series from the teams at Novel and iHeartRadio, this is the Fighty Pucks. We're going out on the ice with the most violent hockey team ever.
That was guerrilla warfare at its highest.
Were they heroes or villains? You decide.
You and I are going to have a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Welcome to the jungle.
Listen to the Fighty Pucks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You might not know this, but the Ingles Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things, really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and off-season files continue. Here are the off-season moves of the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, this year's not going to be great.
This ain't pretty. I mean,
I'm going to be way nicer to the Cardinals than you are.
Yeah, Kyler Murray coming off the injury. He's going to miss, the first 6 to 8 weeks of the season?
That's the way it looks right now, yes.
You look at the rest of that team. I mean, you lost DeAndre Hopkins. Obviously, he's gone now.
I don't care.
You don't care?
I mean, not for this year. You could have had DeAndre Hopkins and Jerry Rice, and the fact that they're going to be thrown to by Colt McCoy. Yeah, this year's going to be a little rough. But I loved the Paris Johnson pick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to be hard for you to get free agents to come here, especially after the NFLPA puts out that damning report that basically you got exposed floorboards in your weight room. But do you not feel like this team's trending the right way? This year's going to be awful.
I have no idea what to think about this team. I mean, because I don't know what Jonathan Gannon's going to be like as a head coach. So are we falling into that?
I'm not sure that I care.
Okay.
Because your GM has already proven that he's real bright. I mean, to trade down from 3, Houston comes up against Will Anderson. You get their number 1 pick next year. This may be the first team in NFL history to ever have 1 and 2.
Sure.
Oh, by the way, in a draft that's absolutely stocked at the top. Top 13 might be the best I've ever seen. And I know we say that every year. I'm telling you right now, half of this class could not pan out. Still the best draft class I've ever seen in the top 10.
Okay.
Joe Alt is probably the 5th best tackle prospect I've ever seen. He won't be the first tackle drafted. That's how good this class is.
So you are sold on Colt McCoy as the starter and not Clayton Tune?
Yes. Okay. I mean, and maybe after 3 or 4 weeks, they look at Colt McCoy and go, hey, why are we doing this?
So bad.
Well, I mean, he's fine. He's the peanut butter and jelly sandwich of the NFL. And it'll keep you alive. It's not going to make you feel warm and fuzzy. I've never had one, but I can assume. And I'm looking at this team going, they're trying to lose. This is an NFL team that is coming out and telling you we're trying to lose. They have 5 players on this entire roster that I feel like belong in this league. And 3 of them play the same position. But a year from now, you have the world by the tail.
Sure. You'll be able to flip one. If you end up with the 1 and 2 picks, you're going to be able to flip one or both of them. Because what are you going to do with Kyler Murray? Are you going to be able to trade him?
I think that depends on how this year goes.
Can you get out of that deal? Well, I mean, that's the only way you keep both of those picks and take a quarterback.
Well, if you're dead sold on Caleb Williams and you have 1 and 2, you go Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. And the dead cap on Kyler Murray. Okay, this team ain't gonna be good in a year. But I may have just drafted my franchise quarterback for the next 10 years.
Possibly.
I may have just drafted the best receiver we've seen come into the NFL draft in 10 years. I think you're set at tackle. And then you just have to draft well. But I'm looking at the GM going, in one fell swoop, you took the most hapless franchise in the NFL, and I don't know if it's all that close. And you gave me a reason to hope. I don't care about this year. My starting quarterback that I paid $4 jillion to ain't gonna play the first half of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the worst team in my division, and the Rams are in my division, and I'm not sure it's all that close. So I don't care about this year. I'm the hope for the Arizona Cardinals comes from the GM down. You pulled off what may come to be one of the great trade heists in NFL history. So be bad. Just be absolutely awful. And then we'll figure it out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Play these young guys. See what you got. Give them some snaps. If you want to trade Buda Baker, do it. Stock this team with young, cheap assets. I don't care if you're any good. You're going to win. And I'll be honest with you, I think you'd have won 5 games with Kyler Murray at best anyway. Break it down to the studs. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
This team was on par with the Houston Texans in terms of hapless.
Mm-hmm.
In one move, with that same hapless franchise, you quadrupled them. Because now I have all these golden tickets. I got all this draft capital. Oh, and by the way, I still got the player I wanted at 3. That's the thing that everybody seems to leave out. They were taking Paris Johnson at 3 if they got stuck there. And to me, it's brilliant. And maybe I'm just in a good mood. But I don't have anything negative to say here. This was a roster that was capped at 7 and 10 if everybody came back. Everybody came back. Jonathan Gannon's the greatest coach in the history of the NFL. You're 7 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
But now, 2 years from now, you figure out the ownership situation. You invest a little money. You throw some scouts out there. You make this not the laughing stock of the NFL. And, hey, maybe 3 or 4 years from now, you're actually competitive.
Yeah. To me, that feels like a lot of what ifs, but there's no doubting the move that they made with the Houston Texans this year. Of course, having 2 of the top 3-4 picks in next year's draft is going to be useful for you rebuilding this roster. The question is, do you have the brain trust in place to make those picks work?
And that's the question.
And that we don't know. I mean, if you just look at the draft that they had this past season, feel pretty good about it.
Yes,
you got
well,
Paris Johnson.
should.
You got B.J. Ojolari. Michael Wilson is a guy out of Stanford that, I mean, we feel like is going to have a pretty good future.
To me, he's one of the receivers in the best situation to produce immediately. So, I mean, I just think you have things. This is going to look like an expansion team for a year. But a short-term pain is worth a lot of long-term gain.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Sports Center's coming up next. Then it'll be time for the Daily Draft, the best skill position groups in the NFL.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Less storm coverage, more heat this week. In fact, we're pulling up into the 90s, I think, by the late week forecast here. We're not far today. 61 degrees in the valley tonight with 50s with higher elevations. Less storm coverage around next several days. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. High temps in the mid-80s in the valley. And then some low 90s showing up here by Thursday, Friday. Hit and miss showers expected for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 240 westbound eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 westbound stop and go approaching Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound near George's Branch Road delays. Near Avery Creek, Brevard Road north and southbound light delays near Long Shoals Road. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In Clyde, US 74 near Carolina Boulevard, an accident does have the left lane closed. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Stop waiting for a great deal on better sleep. Mattress Firm's July 4th sale is happening now. Save up to $700 on top brands when you get a king bed for a queen price. Plus, get a free adjustable base on qualifying purchases. Shop today to get the right bed at the right price.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting the Hawks trading forward John Collins to the Jazz for forward Rudy Gay and a future second-round pick. Deal delivers financial flexibility for Atlanta and a versatile forward to Utah. ESPN's Brian Windhorst told Get Up Trailblazers star Damian Lillard will be checking in with his closest advisors to consider what his next move will be, if any. Lillard said after the season he didn't want to be part of a youth movement, wanted Portland to upgrade with veterans. Blazers hoping Lillard will allow time to work with third overall pick Scoot Henderson and see what the team does in free agency. A different approach needed, though, believes ESPN's Kendrick Perkins.
I think they should go to Dame and say, Dame, we're going to do you a favor. We appreciate it. You're one of the greatest Portland Trailblazers. We're not taking it for granted. We're going to trade you to a destination that's great for you, that's going to help you win the championship.
Blackhawks acquired former Hart Trophy winner Taylor Hall from the Bruins. He'll be paired with Connor Bedard, who Chicago's expected to draft first overall in Wednesday's NHL draft.
If you need solid hires fast, you need Indeed. The all-in-one hiring solution makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates from the same place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. That's money. Enter it now.
Log on now to ESPNAVL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere around the world on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com, click the live video link, subscribe to the channel. You can join us in the chat. Apparently, there's a deep discussion going on about how great the American Gladiators video game was.
Greatest video game of all time.
Never played it.
The greatest video game. Literally the hardest video game I've ever played.
Probably why I never played it.
I think I am as angry of a person as I am today because I played that game for almost an entire summer until I beat it. And it was impossible to beat.
My dad probably rented it for me at one point, took it home for the weekend, played it for 5 minutes, and went, I can't win this game. I'm never playing it again. Because that's how I was as a kid with video games. If I couldn't figure it out in 5 minutes, I'm done.
See, I was so good at video games when I was a kid that I would get like Mario. I got irritated at how easy Mario was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I beat them all. And I would die 4 times over the course of the entire world. Now, American Gladiators, the other hand, I got annihilated. And it made me angry, and I had to beat it.
What console was that even on?
Super Nintendo.
Okay.
That was the 16-bit.
16-bit?
Oh, yeah.
Of the 8-bit.
The 8-bit was the NES.
Yeah,
okay.
That was the original.
That's what Duck Hunt was on. Duck Hunt, the greatest shooting game of all time.
So it was a Super Nintendo game.
Correct.
I'm pretty sure that's one that we picked up from the West Buncombe Gulf Tanning and Video. You don't even remember that, do you?
I didn't live on this side of town.
Oh, that's right. You lived on the south side of Asheville.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Well, I got mine from Rhodes Video. That was before we had a Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I think I rented that game no less than 10 times.
I think before the Blockbuster opened up on Patton Avenue, the only place that us West Asheville kids had to go to, or at least if you lived out in the Irwin community, the only place you had to go was the West Buncombe Gulf Oil. It was the Gulf gas station, and it was West Buncombe Gulf Tanning and Video.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Did you get your taxes done in that place? It sounds like a good place to get your taxes done. Maybe talk to somebody about some crimes.
Sloan Jordan says he would pay money to see me play Dark Souls. I have no idea what that is.
I will start a video game YouTube channel just to watch how bad Tank is at it.
What is that? Is that like a role-playing game or something?
Yeah, is
that like a World of Warcraft game?
It's in the same vein as that. It's not quite the same, but it's basically everything that I know definitively you would be horrendous at, and it would be so fun to watch you just get toasted.
Again, 5 minutes, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm not playing this.
See, and that's like a defense mechanism for Tank, because it's not fun for me if he quits. I need you to sit here and wallow in your sadness. I want you to be bad at this, but I want you to want to be good at it and not be able to.
Stephen Tao says the Lion King on the Sega was the hardest game ever.
That game was I broke it at least. I bet I broke 3 controllers over that.
I don't remember ever playing that one, but I think the hardest game I ever had to play was the Turtles game on the Nintendo, the original 8-bit Nintendo,
Also
the Teenage
difficult.
Mutant Ninja Turtles game, especially the underwater one where they had the seaweed on all sides and you had to swim through it. Perfect. Never could do it.
How many over under? I'm setting the number at 7.5. How many controllers did you break as a child?
And what was the over under?
7.5.
It was over.
You could have set mine at 70.5, and I probably cleared it.
I think I've only breaking 2 maybe.
I had a graveyard. I bet my parents still have it because it was almost comical. Because I was never an angry child, But video games, our engineer, John Hewitt, has a T-shirt about playing video games, and it's got a slew of bleeped out obscenities on it. He was wearing it today. I've laughed every time I've ever seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is a side of me that comes out playing video games that you will never see anywhere else. And if you did, I'd be in prison for crimes. But Chief David Zach and I would have a much different relationship than we do.
How bad is Tank at Madden?
He held his own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did.
I didn't get killed.
He did score. I mean, he didn't get Brian Haynes. Yeah. I mean, Brian Haynes was down 77-0 in the third quarter. And I also figured out there's one thing that you just don't know how to stop, and I'm going to do it repeatedly.
Well, we get a matchup then.
Ian, I'll bring it in here. I don't care. Long hair don't care. I will annihilate you with this game, and I will talk so much smack. You will genuinely hate me by the end of that.
We'll see what
We
happens.
will have to compartmentalize our relationship.
How about this? If you beat me in Madden, I'll dye my mustache blonde.
Oh, this seems...
Let's do it.
What do I have to give up?
Your whole beard.
Is there a chance you think that you think there's a chance you lose at this?
Good God, no. But I just want to know
all
what the terms are.
Say you have to get a mohawk.
No way.
No, he won't cut his hair.
No, I won't cut my hair and I won't cut my beard. I want my wife to still love me.
You want to get a tat?
And frankly, without a beard, I don't even love myself. So I look like an overgrown 8-year-old.
What if you get that Denver Nuggets tattoo?
Ian, if that's the terms, I'll do it right now. But then again, that's not the greatest terms because you're going to end up with a blonde mustache and I'm going to do something that I would have done anyway.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay.
It is decided.
All right. There you go. That's our first official Jake versus the Fat Man torture ticket.
Oh, I'm down. I am down. Frankly, I feel like I should be giving it points, but I don't know how good he is. So he did know why I was so good at defense, which gives me a little bit of a maybe you know something.
We'll see what happens.
Sloan Jordan says Jeremy eats a PB&J. Actually, that's going to happen on the Friday edition of this here program. Chief David Zach will be here in studio on Friday, or that's the plan anyway. And apparently you guys have already cooked up that Jeremy is going to eat his first PB&J live on the show. So
that is going to be a full Zach takeover of the show. We will have Clarissa Hyatt Zach, David Zach, Clarissa's Caleb. I was like, names, it's eluding me. And they're here to support Jake and to have some fun with us. And the agreement there was that I would eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because apparently it blew Caleb's mind that I'd never done that. So I went in. Let's go.
Top of the third hour of the program here in the Sportsocracy, as we do. Start off with the daily draft here on a Monday. This is no longer stock up, stock down from the weekend because there's nothing happened over the weekend.
Stock up from the weekend. Jeremy's liver, because I only had one night of impressive adventures.
Today it's position groups. Actually, this is the skill players. Teams with the best skill players going into the 2023 NFL Draft. Bill Barnwell did another one of his stupid lists on ESPN.com where he had the Minnesota Vikings ranked as the 6th best team of skill position players in the league. And that, my friends, is dumb.
Is stupid.
Dumb.
Now, the funny thing is that the rest of his top 10 was very similar to mine.
I was going to say formidable.
But the 20s?
He did have the Falcons at 10, which I think that gave me a little angina. That was Olamide Zacchaeus is the 3. So we decided we're going to, in stereotypical Sportsocracy fashion, we're going to take his idea and do it gooder than he did.
Jeremy has the first pick. So who's the number one team with the best skill position players?
Well, here's the thing. You gotta know your audience. You got to know the game you're playing.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I feel like I've got a couple that I like that I think will come back to me.
Okay.
So I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Fair assessment there, Cincinnati Bengals.
Are you serious?
Why is your mouth so wide open on that?
I heard "s" and I thought you were going to say a totally different name. And
No.
now I have.
Hey, that's fine. I had a feeling they were going to come back because I know who you're talking about. But, I get Joe Mixon. I have a feeling I know who you're talking about, but I get Joe Mixon, I get Jamar Chase, I get T. Higgins, I get two legit ones. Tyler Boyd, Irv Smith, who you never know. Great lottery ticket, little scratcher.
Is Hayden Hurst still over there?
No, he's in Carolina.
Okay.
But I bought a $5 scratcher from the gas station in Irv Smith. Let's see if that bad boy turns into a bill. And it's the best group of position guys in the league, from top to bottom.
All
but
right.
now I'm looking at the depth. I'm looking at everything. You got to remember they got Andre Iosivas on the outside waiting to get on in here, with several other guys that are pretty good. I feel very good with my start to this.
As you should. Cincinnati Bengals, number one pick. Little surprising to me that they were the number one, but it's a great choice because they were not getting back to you.
I was going to say, I thought you said the San Francisco 49ers, but actually, I had some time to think about it. You're talking about depth. What about the Seattle Seahawks?
That's who I actually thought you were talking about.
There we go. Kenneth Walker, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Yeah, Noah Fant. They have some pretty decent tight ends.
Noah Fant is, I would say that's in the ballpark of Irv Smith. I've actually seen him be good at football. Irv Smith is kind of like a Sasquatch. I keep or Tank's UFO theories that I've been told of what it's going to be, but I've never actually seen it.
So that's your number one pick is Seattle.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
I like it.
Good answer.
I like it.
Do I have the good answer thing on here? I should. Boom! Let's go.
There you go.
To hear it. So Tank.
All right. Well, I thought you were going to do it, and then I thought you were going to do it. So if neither of you are going to do it, I guess it has to be on me. It's San Francisco 49ers.
I got you.
You give me stop that. You give me Christian McCaffrey. Oh, by the way, I got Elijah Mitchell behind him, which could be he's a starter without Christian McCaffrey.
Bringing Elijah Mitchell into this discussion is kind of like saying, I bought a new house, and it comes with a water hose on the outside. Isn't that cool? I can water my plants.
Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. Yeah, they're the number one for me.
Yeah, here's the problem. Every guy you just said has injury problems. Every single one of them. And the second little facet of the Bill Barnwell article was that injuries do matter. So I get why you took him at 3. There is no shot that I'm taking them over Cincinnati. Cincinnati, I get the best receiver in the league.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want to argue with me, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase? That's fine. That would be like arguing to me which is better, Domestic Lights or Fireball. They're both awesome. So there's really not a loser in that.
Yep.
You don't have one of those. George Kittle, he's a great tight end, the 8 games he replays. And I love him.
Mm-hmm.
But if injuries are a thing, then I have to take that into account.
Okay.
Just for posterity's sake, they would have been my 3, which is where you took them. But that's why I didn't take them as high. I'm not sure Jamar Chase isn't made of rubber. I don't think you can actually hurt him.
Until he's not.
You might have.
The question in football is not.
He's the jinx.
Is not if the injury is going to happen. It's when it's going to happen.
But it hadn't happened yet.
No, it hadn't happened.
So I got an injury history with every guy you just said.
Mm-hmm.
I have no injury history with the guys I just said.
Mm-hmm.
And T. Higgins is the most underappreciated wide receiver in the history of the NFL.
Okay.
I get it.
All right, my second pick here.
Also forgot the legend that is Kyle Juszczyk. Can't believe you left that off for San Francisco.
Elijah Mitchell is worth mentioning more than Kyle Juszczyk.
One of them's going to play a lot more.
It doesn't matter. One of them's going to touch the ball a lot more, and that's going to be Elijah Mitchell.
Kyle Juszczyk. Dog!
He's a dog. The 7 times he touches the football every week.
You know what? I'm going to ingratiate fullbacks into my tight end whisperer. I'm going to become the fullback whisperer too. All 6 of them. They're going to love me.
Nice. All right, second pick here coming back around fantasy style for me. I got the San Francisco 49ers at 3. I'm really torn between 2 here, but this is not counting quarterbacks.
No. Running back, wide receiver, tight end. taken 3 of Bill Barnwell's top 4 in the top 3.
Mm-hmm.
So, we got a little angry at the list, but he at least got the top right.
Sure. I mean, other than the Minnesota Vikings at 6, which was dumb. I am going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't feel like to me it was close between them and another team, but I get Devontae Smith, I get A.J. Brown, I get DeAndre Swift.
You want to talk about hurt? DeAndre Swift scratches his head and twists his ankle. Just straight up.
I get Dallas Goedert. I'll take it.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert. Very similar to 8 other tight ends in the league.
Unless you have Kelsey or Kittle, they're all the same. I mean, unless they're bad.
I don't know that I agree with that.
Really?
I don't know. Might be a couple that I like better than you.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
You know, Alameda Zacchaeus is their 3 right now.
You took the Falcons?
No. He plays for the Eagles now.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't care.
He's their 3.
Yeah, woo.
Yeah.
Wow,
We're
that's
not going to use him.
That's very scary.
We're not going to use him at all. I don't need him. That's why I asked if the quarterbacks matter, because Jalen Hurts, obviously, he's more than just a quarterback.
Correct.
He's going to get a lot of rushing yards, and I would consider him partially in that skill position as well. I know it doesn't count for this, but that's a little thumb on the scale for the Philadelphia Eagles, which makes me like them better.
I get it.
Jake, your second pick.
Well, I think I'm going to have to stay in division here. Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
That's a
not a bad selection.
Just listen. Okay. Yes, the tight ends scare me. Jake Ferguson, Luke Schoonemaker, cool. But come on. This wide receiving core?
Dogs.
Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks. Yes, he's a little old, but CeeDee Lamb. Come on, guys.
Oh, he did that. He did that full cinematic stuff. We're going to talk about the one.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, he went full Drake right there. We're going to talk about the least relevant, and then we're going to jump aggressively, and then we're going to take another aggressive step.
And, I mean, we haven't even mentioned Tony Pollard, who could have a top 5 fantasy season.
I agree with you. I am much higher on Tony Pollard. By the way, and I've waited all offseason to look at Tank and say this. Hey, you remember?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when we looked at the PFF list and they had Tony Pollard as the best running back in the NFL?
Yes.
And you said, that is stupid.
Yes, it is.
Doesn't look as stupid now, does it?
It kind of does.
On a per carry basis, it looks stupid to me, at least. In terms of raw talent, there aren't 4 running backs in this league I'd take over him. Because they all have injury issues.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them. Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry.
Tony Pollard.
He's got hurt one time because he got his leg snapped on the sideline. That's a little different than soft tissue injuries. It's a little different than, I blew my knee out. Yeah, I mean, you can break bones. Bones heal.
Mm-hmm.
Knees don't tend to. But it's a good selection.
I appreciate it.
For Jake. And I do love names on the door. So it's time to take a break. I gotta think about this for a minute. I feel like this is where I'm gonna win this draft. I just want to decide what order I need to do it in.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure that I have distanced myself appropriately from the rest of the combatants.
Best skill position groups in the NFL. Today's daily draft here in the Sportsocracy. Jeremy's got back-to-back picks coming up next.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. On the Captain Jeff Bourne Bridge, traffic is moving well. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, north and southbound near Butler Bridge Road, traffic is slowing. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. In North Asheville, Merriman Avenue near W.T. Weaver Boulevard, delays. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
You do anything to keep your vehicle happy. Let's make sure it stays running smoothly. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, the right parts are just a click away. When you see the green check, you know that part will fit. Get the right parts at the right prices. ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
If you're suffering and there's a safe, natural, easy-to-use solution to help make you feel better, wouldn't you at least want to try it? That's why millions of people use Navage Nasal Care to help relieve their symptoms of sinus congestion, allergies, snoring, and other nasal-related problems. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, helping flush out everything that makes you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Candace, a verified Navage user who writes, "This is the greatest invention ever made. I truly can't believe the difference and the relief it has made in my sinus problems. Thank you," unquote. Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
You might not know this, but the Ingles Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things, really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
Back in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville in the midst of the daily draft. Bill Barnwell on ESPN ranking the skill position groups across the NFL today. He did pretty well on the top of the list, aside from, as we mentioned several times so far, Minnesota at 6 is just, well, it's just...
He's doing crimes.
Yeah. I really don't know what... I mean, I guess you're just putting all chips onto the table for Jordan Addison, which I get it. I like the kid as well.
I don't like him like that.
But...
I'm more like friend like him.
Jeremy had the first pick in the draft. He went with the Cincinnati Bengals, which was a great choice. Jake took Seattle, leaving me San Francisco and Philadelphia. And then Jake takes Dallas with his last pick. So we both have 2. Jeremy's got 2 picks here back-to-back. The end of the second round, start of the third round. Who's next?
All right, I'm speculating because I think this particular team's going to sign Dalvin Cook. The Miami Dolphins. I get 2 elite wide receivers. Oh, but their tight end's awful. Okay, I got 7 running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And I've also got like 6 extra guys that could be my third receiver because I like Cedric Wilson. Robbie Anderson, I'm not calling you Robbie Chosen. Sorry. I'm not doing it. And Braxton Berrios. That's a nice, deep group that I know the third guy's going to be able to get it done. Now, if something were to happen to Jalen Waddle or Tyreek Hill, now all of a sudden it don't feel as good. If they don't sign Dalvin Cook, don't feel as good because I don't have that, no doubt, number 1 running back.
Right.
But I feel like at this point that's happening. I don't buy the Dalvin Cook to the Jets thing. I never have. I don't think they're going to come off the money. I understand they have a higher offer right now. If the Jets' higher offer was that impressive, Dalvin Cook would have already signed it. So I feel like he ends up in Miami, and I'm taking them with my second selection. The next one was markedly more difficult. And now I'm having to play the game because there's a team that I really want, but I don't think I have to take them right here. So I'm going to go with the Go Chargers Go! Yeah, they have 4 really good receivers. And Austin Eckler's a dynamic weapon. Don't really care for anything you have at tight end, except Donald Parham, who is dog. Gerald Everett's just me. The other running backs are just me. But, man, you go 1 to 5. There are not many teams that are better than that. I feel like I undervalued them when we did the receiver list. I mean, I don't think I did it aggressively. There are still several teams I like better than them. That is a talented group of playmakers for Justin Herbert and Kellen Moore, future head coach of the Go Chargers Go.
Well, they definitely were not going to be coming back to you. So
correct.
Great choice.
I feel like the other team I want is going to come back to me because they are drastically lower on that Bill Barnwell list.
Well, that leads me with my third pick, a team that I have really high hopes for. I think it's going to be a breakout season for a lot of players on their team. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars out of Duval County. I mean, come on now. Calvin Ridley on this team. You already had Christian Kirk and Zay Jones. And not to mention, Evan Ingram had a breakout season.
Oh, yeah. He fits his offense tremendously.
You have Travis Etienne. You drafted Tank Bigsby.
The Jacksonville Jaguars were the first team that I looked at and went, it is stupid. And to me, nobody with an IQ above salad dressing could have the Minnesota Vikings ahead of them. It just didn't make sense.
Oh, no way.
I mean, unless you think Justin Jefferson is so much better than every other receiver in the league that as a set of weapons, he's 6 by himself. And, I mean, if that's what you think, that's fine. You're wrong, but I agree with you with Jacksonville. That was a team that I had mentally chalked up I was going to lose. I almost took them. Had I not taken the Chargers, I would have taken Jacksonville.
I feel like even if you take out, like, you look at this team, obviously you see Trevor Lawrence. Oh, my God, Trevor Lawrence, the second coming of Peyton Manning. If you even take Trevor Lawrence out, you put in Colt McCoy, this offense still looks amazing.
Yeah, with Colt McCoy, I don't feel as good.
Again, Seacrest out on that one. No, don't give me Colt McCoy.
With these weapons?
Yeah, I still don't want Colt McCoy.
No.
No, I still
Maybe
need,
I went too far.
I still need Goldilocks, but as long as I got Goldilocks, I'll be just fine.
Jacksonville, both of those were on my short list for my next pick, so thanks for that, guys. Next up, though, my third selection. I got to go with an AFC team here after getting two at the top of the NFC with the San Francisco 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going AFC. Cleveland Browns.
No!
It's a really good pick.
I mean, quarterback doesn't count here, but you look at their skill position players. I got Amari Cooper. I got Jeremy's little boyfriend, Elijah Moore, who he thinks is going to be like the greatest breakout player of fantasy football this year. I have one of the best running backs, if not the best running back in the league, statistically speaking, in Nick Chubb. And then David Njoku at the tight end spot. And then, oh, by the way, my 3, it's Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I knew he was going to
He loves Donovan
It means absolutely nothing.
DPJ, better than Josh Palmer, not close.
Oh, stop. You say lunatic things sometimes. I also want to, just for the record, Donovan Peoples-Jones may not even be the third best receiver on this team. That could belong to Cedric Tillman.
Could be.
Needed to get that name in there. Proceed. Already taken one I wanted.
I hate this team, but if you just look at their skill position players,
I don't like where this is headed.
If you just look at the skill position players, it's worth talking about, to me anyway. It's another team from the AFC. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I hate this game.
It was close for me between Pittsburgh and another AFC team, but I mean, look at Pittsburgh.
They're stacked.
Right. Deontay
Stacked.
Johnson, George Pickens, Allen Robinson. Those are your top 3 wide receivers. Then you got the Fryermouth at tight end, who I think he's at the top of tier 2
Agreed.
of tight ends in this league. And I know there are a lot of detractors to Najee Harris because of his yards per carry. Like, he's got 3 yards per carry throughout his career. Okay. But he's also struggled with an offensive line that couldn't block. That's going to be better this year. Oh, by the way, last year they didn't trust Kenny Pickett to get them out of the situation. Or, defenses would let Kenny Pickett, they'd stack the box and let Kenny Pickett try to pick them apart. I don't feel like you can really do that anymore with this team. Kenny Pickett with another year under his belt, I feel like he's going to be able to spread the ball around a little bit more, and that's going to open up holes for Najee Harris.
Well, those were the 2 teams I wanted. So I don't like this game. I don't like you. Is it time for you to go on vacation yet?
Almost. It is almost. We are counting down under 30 minutes.
Last pick in this draft. I feel like I got a pretty good draft so far.
You do.
But this team, oh my gosh. They're a little overhyped. Tank is in love with their tight end. I'm talking about the Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a dog, 100%. But then you look at Marvin Jones, Josh Reynolds. They're okay. Jameson Williams will come back at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And then
6-game suspension.
Jahmyr Gibbs, I feel like, could have a crazy year in the backfield. I'm really eyeing him in my dynasty draft. I do not know if I'm going to get him, but I would love to have him. And then, obviously, Sam Laporta. Tank Spencer loves that dude.
I do.
He should. I talked him up the entire draft.
I have high hopes for 2 rookie tight ends this year. One of them is Sam Laporta, and the other one may be on a team that Jeremy's getting ready to draft. I don't know.
Well, you took all the teams I wanted, which makes me angry. The team I feel like you're talking about is the Las Vegas Raiders, which
Bingo.
would be if we went another round, that would be my selection.
Okay.
If we went 2 more rounds, it'd be the Atlanta Falcons. But I still get to. Okay, you got a bunch of running backs.
Mm-hmm.
Your third receiver is me.
Yeah, it's not good.
So, I feel like I got to take what is almost unequivocally one of the best backfields in the league.
Okay.
A couple tight ends that are, some of all parts, got like a handful of them. They're great. And I could argue you have the best 6th receiver in the league with the New York Jets, Jets.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sure do.
Mm-hmm.
How many running backs in the league would you take ahead of Breece Hall right now? 5?
3 or 4. Yeah. Something like that.
How many receivers in the NFL would you take ahead of Garrett Wilson right now?
5 or 6,
5 or
probably.
6.
Yeah. How many teams in the league can you say that about? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's 0, other than the Jets. There's not one in the league. I mean, if you want to try to test me on that, feel free.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just get into depth. I don't know that you have a legit 2. Your 2's Allen Lazard. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But then you go Corey Davis, who's one of the best blocking receivers in the league. Denzel Mims is your 6. Mecole Hardman, he bees fast real good.
Mm-hmm. By the way, did you see his chain, his necklace?
I did.
Holy smokes.
I did.
If you have not seen it, it's got, 3 jets on it?
Yeah.
And this thing looks platinum, it's diamond encrusted, and it's got 3 different jets on it. And the big jet in the middle, the top of it opens up, and it's his face in the pilot seat. It's incredible.
Oh, it's sweet.
How much did that cost?
A lot.
$2.6 million, probably.
It's
I don't
a lot.
It's
Bro spent his contract on that thing.
right. It is phenomenal. All right, Jeremy gets his Jets in there. Who didn't see that coming?
22 on the list, right?
Yeah, it's because Bill Barnwell was doing crimes. That's how he got Minnesota at 6. If you take Minnesota over the Jets, you're on drugs. And that's as nicely as I'll say it. Oh, you got Justin Jefferson. Yeah, Garrett Wilson's right behind him. You don't win another one of these. Tight end. T.J. Hawkinson in that one game he has every year. Woo.
I'll take that 10 times out of 10 over anything the Jets could throw at me at tight end.
Well,
Tyler Conklin. Yay!
Well, the Jets have 4 of them. So
That's fine.
Things go sideways, so just try another one.
You got 4 Hayden Hursts. That's good enough.
It's fine. And frankly, I could not even mention the tight ends, and I think it'd have been just fine. Because we're comparing Breece Hall to Alexander Madison. Yeah, I think I win that 1,000 times out of 1,000.
100%. Definitely. 100%. Others that did not get mentioned, any ones that didn't get taken that surprised you? Las Vegas kind of surprised me. Nobody took them.
They would have been my next pick. The Saints would have been up there. Baltimore would have been up there. The team that I looked at the longest was the Chicago Bears. I just don't know that you have any one guy that really scares me. I like Khalil Herbert a lot, but he's more of a stat accumulator, just kind of grinder. I don't know that he's going to beat your brains out over the top or anything like that, but those were all teams that I considered.
All right, you're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. When we come back, it's time for the most important message of the day.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Less storm coverage, more heat this week. In fact, we're pulling up into the 90s, I think, by the late week forecast here. We're not far today. 61 degrees in the valley tonight with 50s with higher elevations. Less storm coverage around next several days. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. High temps in the mid-80s in the valley. And then some low 90s showing up here by Thursday, Friday. Hit and miss showers expected for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 westbound between Johns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound stop and go west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. Near Avery Creek Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. In the Fletcher area, Hendersonville Road southbound near St. John Road, an accident. The right lane is closed. In Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Howard Gap Road is stop and go. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your time saver traffic.
This report is sponsored by Raid.
This can't keep your loved ones protected from pests, but Raid can. For 60 years, Raid scientists have worked to protect people around the world, including the ones you love most. Raid, protection for all.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
The free iHeartRadio app covers the sports teams you love like no one else. Catch the latest breaking news, plus the upcoming NFL season's just around the corner. And iHeartRadio is your official podcast partner of the NFL. Make the iHeart app your go-to to stay up to date on all things in the sports world. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, and it's time for the most important message of the day, Jeremy Greene.
Don't do crimes!
Let's go to New York for this one.
That's a place to do crimes.
Yeah, lots of people doing crimes in New York, and sometimes, it's people that you would expect not to be doing crimes in New York. A 33-year-old man from the Bronx named Silas McKenzie, he went shopping, took a little shopping trip on January the 12th, 2021, where he charged $1,123 worth of items on an American Express card and a MasterCard. Here's the catch. They weren't his. Now, the question is, whose cards were they? And how did Silas McKenzie get them? Well, he's a New York Fire Department firefighter, and the night before he went and bought things with the American Express card and the MasterCard, he responded to the death of a fellow New Yorker. He goes to the scene, helps apply life-saving techniques. Couldn't save the guy. I figured, why not? I'll take his credit cards. He took the dead guy's credit cards and the next day went on a mini shopping spree. I mean, $1,100 in New York City. I mean, you bought what, 2 things? You bought like a roll of paper towels.
Yeah, he bought 2 pieces of street pizza, and he probably paid to park for an hour. It's, I think, roughly what that comes to.
He apparently went to a Target where he bought Apple AirPods as part of his selections.
Why are you buying AirPods at Target?
Don't know.
It's like buying toys at the gas station. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
McKenzie, of course, did. They tracked the purchases to him. He obviously lost his job, or no? Throw it out to the group.
Oh, of course.
I feel like since
it's New York?
Question,
not in
not a chance in hell.
No, it's New York.
No, what's the proper punishment for a firefighter who steals credit cards off of a dead man? 28-day suspension with pay.
Oh, I was going to say
with pay. With pay?
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you had to do
28-day vacation.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say you had to do like 10 up downs or something. That's football punishment.
Charged with 2 counts of 4th-degree grand larceny, 2nd-degree attempted identity theft. Attempted identity theft?
No, I feel
like that's identity theft.
Yeah, what exactly do you have to do to get arrested in New York City right now?
2nd-degree attempted identity theft. They also charged him with 3rd-degree identity theft. So at the same time, they're saying he attempted to steal the identity. He did steal the identity, but only to the 3rd degree. And then 2nd-degree criminal impersonation and official misconduct. And that got him a 28-day paid vacation.
And the moral of that story is, if you're going to do crimes, get out of Asheville and go to New York City. Because we're tired of you. My story, Jake, you're new to the program, and there's a phrase that we live by on this show, and I have never said it to you. It is FAFO. Do you know what that acronym stands for?
No. Not at all.
Falafel around and find out. That is what Andrea Powell of Long Beach, California did. She's a 44-year-old woman. Saturday morning, she started showing up at the House of Residents in Long Beach, banging on their front door, demanding entry and claiming that all of the residents of the neighborhood owed her money. We don't know why. Because her last victim, she banged on the window of this woman's car, somehow got access to the car, pulled the woman out by her hair, and dropped her on the sidewalk. The only problem is that there was a local man that lived next door that he must also live by the falafel around and find out philosophy that we live by here, because he was an armed man and he ended the threat like that. And now he has been detained on first-degree murder. So let me see if I understand. We have a bad man or a bad woman that is doing crimes. This good man, armed man, stops them with a bang bang, and they have been arraigned on first degree murder. In the meantime, Tank told a story about a firefighter that stole the identity of a dead person, and he got a 28-day vacation. Man, the justice system in this country is just humming along smoothly, ain't it?
Wildly inconsistent.
Don't you just look at that and go, are we even trying anymore? Are we actually even trying? And that is reason number 417 that we need Mullet Mayor 24. Put me in charge of a city. Watch what happens. My campaign slogan, FAFO.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Take a quick break. When we come back, last off-season files before Tank's vacation. Looking forward to it. Cincinnati Bengals. How do they look after this past off-season?
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Hendersonville Road southbound in Fletcher near St. John Road. Delays. Earlier accident here has cleared. Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Howard Gap Road. Traffic is slowing. On Sweeten Creek Road, traffic is stop and go southbound approaching Mills Gap Road. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by ComparionInsurance.com.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Never heard of us? We know. But to help it stick that our local agents are insurance experts, we're going to say local agent 3 times in the next 5 seconds. Local agent, local agent, local agent.
Find us at ComparionInsurance.com.
Get your tickets now
at AXS.com
for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Coming back to Las Vegas.
2 nights.
September 22nd and 23rd.
1 stage.
At T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live. Only on Hulu.
This is the iHeartRadio Music Festival.
Buy your tickets for our 2023 iHeartRadio Music Festival now.
Before they sell out.
At AXS.com.
That's AXS.com.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year. Which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
In a new series from the teams at Novel and iHeartRadio, this is the Fighty Pups. We're going out on the ice with the most violent hockey team ever.
That was guerrilla warfare at its highest.
Were they heroes or villains? You decide.
You and I are going to have a problem. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Welcome to the jungle.
Listen to the Fighty Pucks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You might not know this, but the Ingles Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things, really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
The Sportsocracy. These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
It is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Off-season files continue here, counting down the days to the NFL season. Well, the preseason's just 37 days away. We're like 76 days away, I think, away from the start of the actual regular season.
We're getting closer.
We are getting closer.
And we got some doldrums. Don't get get me wrong. There's some bad days, but there's good days, and they're ahead.
Indeed, good days ahead for me as I'm getting ready to go on vacation. Excited about that in about 10 minutes. So
and good
let's
days
get into
for me
this.
and Jake, because Tank's getting ready to go on vacation.
Damn right. Let's get into it here. The off-season files for the Cincinnati Bengals. Can they make it back to the Super Bowl? Well, they're definitely on the short list of contenders. And I've said this before, but I feel like I had one big question about this team, and you sewed it up in free agency.
Your left tackle?
And that was Orlando Brown.
I mean, I feel like we should be popping confetti and streamers and things like that because Jonah Williams is no longer the left tackle of the Cincinnati Bengals. I like this line a lot.
Now tell me where the weakness is in this team.
I don't love that you lost Jesse Bates. I know he wasn't elite last year. He's still a very good player.
Mm-hmm.
And now you've got Nick Scott, you've got Daxton Hill. And there's talent there. It could be good. I mean, and I'm having to really pick nits here because the only other thing I even want to say is tight end because I don't know what Irv Smith's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, this is an incredibly talented roster. I think the corners are going to be fine. I don't really – with a Woozy, I think you have a 1. I think Taylor Britt can be a 2, and Mike Hilton's one of the best slot corners in the league. Brought back Jermaine Pratt. I think the pass rush is going to be as good, if not better, this year than it was last, and you shored up the offensive line. I am getting to a point, and I've been here for a while, that I'm not sure Kansas City's or that Cincinnati's not better than Kansas City. It's real close.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, be really honest with yourself. What position group do you actually like the Kansas City Chiefs better than the Bengals? Are the running backs better? Well, I mean, and to me, quarterbacks 1 and 2. I don't think it's that huge of a difference. Yeah. Offensive line, okay. I mean, yeah, I would agree there. Weapons, Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Backfield, Cincinnati. Corners, Cincinnati.
Tight end.
Pass rush, Cincinnati.
Tight end, Kansas City, though.
Okay.
100%.
Not even close.
Okay. So, you got one. But, I mean, the Cincinnati roster is better at practically every other position group.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I do like Andy Reid better than Zach Taylor, and I think that's by a pretty wide margin. But I don't think it's that untoward to say Cincinnati's the best team in the AFC.
No.
It is really hard to be a dynasty that goes back to the Super Bowl every single year. And I won't be shocked if Cincinnati's the best team in the AFC.
I totally agree with you there.
The toughest part to me is that there are no layups in this division. If you told me right now Kansas City wound up as the 1 seed in the AFC, I would say the discrepancy between the two is the schedule that Cincinnati has to play.
Absolutely.
They don't get 2 with the Raiders. They don't get 2 with the Broncos.
Right. Cincinnati's schedule right now, I mean, if you just wanted to go, like a preponderance of evidence here, taking the rosters at face value, they have 6 to 7 no doubt wins on their schedule. That's it. This is a team that we feel like is 1 or 2 in the AFC, but their schedule's so hard that you look at it and go, I don't know. There's some tough matchups there. All of the division matchups are going to be tough. With Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland. That's 6 of your games right there.
If you go 5-1 in your division, you're the best team in the NFL.
Right. You also have at Jacksonville, at San Francisco, at Kansas City. He has some real tough games outside of the division.
So now that comes into do you believe in the iron sharpens iron? Is that that's a phrase that Tank loves to say.
Yeah.
And if you believe
you're going to be battle tested. That's for sure. But here's the thing, are you going to be run ragged? Are you going to just be beat up going into the playoffs? Well, that's the thing that would concern me about Cincinnati, but I'll say that about every other team as well.
I am adamantly of the hope that Lyle Collins is able to come back after that knee injury.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be 9 months removed by the time the season comes around. And if that's the case, and you can slide Jonah Williams into that guard spot, I'm telling you right now, he will be one of the highest paid guards in the league a couple years from now. Because I always have projected him that way. And I just look at that line and go, now you're getting into Kansas City territory. If Collins is healthy, you got Orlando Brown, Jonah Williams on the inside, and the defense, Lou Anarumo somehow has not gotten a head coaching job for the, third year in a row we've been saying this?
Mm-hmm.
So you were able to keep a lot of things intact. Meanwhile, Kansas City is losing things every single year. You've lost your offensive coordinator. You've lost a ton of pieces off the roster because this is the way the league works. And, yes, Cincinnati's schedule is evil. But this team is so good.
2 games that I didn't mention on that schedule, by the way. They have home games against the Seattle Seahawks and the Buffalo Bills.
Which is, it's the toughest schedule I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they just make the playoffs, this is a team you do not want to face in the playoffs.
No.
I don't even care.
No, that's the thing. I don't care where that's another part of Cincinnati. The way this team's constructed, they went into Buffalo in a snowstorm and annihilated them.
Not even close.
It was not a game outside of the first quarter.
And they got cheated out in the AFC Championship.
And we sat there in the second quarter. I've been adamant on Buffalo, and I'm just watching this team. And Tank and Atessa, you're sitting right beside me. Watching what Cincinnati did, it took all of the belief I ever had in Buffalo right out of me. Because now I'm looking at Cincinnati going, they're going to have to get significantly worse, and you're going to have to get significantly better. Neither one of those things has happened. So for me, the AFC is a two-team race at the highest side. Can things happen? Absolutely. You got a lot of teams that could win on any given day. But if we were doing this Vegas style of I'm playing the odds of what's going to happen 80 to 85 to 90% of the time, it's Kansas City and Cincinnati. And you ask me biggest hole? They just don't have many.
Mm-hmm. I fully agree with that. This is a team that is going to go far. They'll make the playoffs. Barring drastic injuries, they'll go into the playoffs. They're a team nobody wants to face, and they are on the short list of Super Bowl contenders this year. You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy and Jake. It's Jake and the Fat Man for the rest of the week here in the Sportsocracy. I will be on vacation, and I will be back with you after the July 4th holiday.
Enjoy the beach.
I will.
We sunscreen.
Lots of it.
You're going to require it.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're going to come back and look like Piglet, and nobody wants that. But enjoy yourself. You've greatly earned the vacation. And we'll see you when you get back.
Appreciate it. And be back here tomorrow here in the Ingles Studio for Jake and the Fat Man at 3 o'clock.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Less storm coverage, more heat this week. In fact, we're pulling up into the 90s, I think, by the late week forecast here. We're not far today. 61 degrees in the valley tonight with 50s with higher elevations. Less storm coverage around next several days. Sunshine Tuesday, Wednesday. High temps in the mid-80s in the valley. And then some low 90s showing up here by Thursday, Friday. Hit and miss showers expected for the holiday weekend. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Line delays, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue, 26 westbound slows west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. Sweeten Creek Road southbound between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road is slow. Near Fletcher, Hendersonville Road northbound approaching Howard Gap Road, traffic is very busy. On the Charlotte Highway, no problems. Checking the drive time from Bend Creek to Avery Creek via NC 191 southbound Bavard Road. Drive time 9 minutes. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. It's time to say good night to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free, so you can drive with peace of mind. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville,